Everyone, and welcome to tonight's episode of Critical Role, where a bunch of us nerdy-ass voice actors sit around and play Dungeons & Dragons. Before we jump in to this episode, after 2 weeks of rest, we're happy to be back. We've missed you guys terribly. We've missed each other terribly. We've missed the game. Holy shit, what a way to hold on to the last episode.
Hanger cliff.
Hell of a hanger cliff there. But we'll jump into that shortly. Until then, we have some few announcements to get to. Beginning with our fantastic sponsors at D&D Beyond. And welcome our friend, Polly.
No.
No. Hey, guys. Oh boy, this is gonna be hard. Nope. Hey, yo, I'm Paulie. I'm a shark. Full name's Paul Vincent D'Onofrio. No relation. I'm an East Coast shark originally, but D&D Beyond asked me to come over here and swim by and tell yous about their app, and also to tell yous that they're heading to the Mile High City for the Denver Pop Culture Con. Autographs and photo op tickets are now available at denverpopculturecon.com. We're looking forward to meeting you. Why did they choose me to make this announcement? Hey, I got no friggin' idea. I'm a friggin' shark. The only D&D I know are Dungeness crabs and dragonfish. Hey!
No.
Until recently, I thought an app was eating the boogie board before I eat the guy riding it. But seriously, folks.
God.
I shouldn't be here. I spend most of my time swimming, eating surfers, swimming, shutting down half my brain so I can go to sleep while I'm swimming. But when D&D Beyond called me, I thought, hey, why not, right? I got some time. Shark Week's not until July, so I'll dig into it. And holy carp, let me tell you, this app is friggin' money. They got these cool weapons and classes, right? Blood mage, blood cleric, blood hunter. I'm a blood hunter. I can relate to that one. They got a thing in there. It's a homebrew, but it's called a shark folk. I started really getting into it, right? I went on the app. I bought some of their books. Out of the Abyss, Sword Coast. They even got one called Waterdeep. Hey, my backyard's Waterdeep. Hey, yo.
No.
I mean, come on. Lo and behold, one thing leads to another. Bada bing, bada boom. Now I got a friggin' campaign going. Me and some pals, we toss out some chum. We play in an old shipwreck down there. It's real wholesome. My current character is a sea elf ranger named Ursula Le Finn. I had some fan art for her done, but it got too wet. I play with a great bunch of guys and girls. Jill the Hammerhead is our healer. Left Shark is our bard. This octopus named Frumpkin sometimes drops in. My neighbor Nicky is our Dungeness master. He's a crab. And we used to play with this surfer named Rhodey Slater, but I got hungry and I ate him. Anyway, so what I'm saying to you guys is, almost done. What I'm saying to you guys is, we got room at the table. So if anyone out there is looking to join a cool campaign, shoot me an email. Let me give you my email address. Ready?
That's dolphins.
At earthlink.net. Anyway. If an apex predator like me can get into D&D Beyond, shouldn't you? Sign up today or I'll hunt you down and kill you while you swim. All right, bye. Peace, everyone.
Oh, no. Is that a tail and a fin?
Thank you, Polly.
What are you?
We're going to smoke this thing. Can I do it over here?
Not in the studio. You got to go out to the sidewalk.
So, as we know, when political votes start getting really close, people start pulling out all the stops and doing ridiculous things to get your attention. So, thank you.
Is there a term called jumping the shark?
Oh, well, long ago did that occur, Laura.
Wow.
Thank you,
It
Sam
became the shark.
and Polly.
Drop me a drink.
Thank you very much, our friends at D&D Beyond, for enduring the onslaught weekly that we all do. Oh, hey, Sam.
Oh, hi, guys. Hey. I'm sorry I'm late. Did I miss anything? Did I miss some high-quality comedy?
Yeah, there was a shark named Polly that came through.
Was it Polly?
Yeah.
Polly Vincent D'Onofrio?
Might have been the one.
You know them.
Oh.
So, as if you could hear it through the accent, it was mentioned that we are heading to the Mile High City for Denver Pop Culture Con. Super excited to be out there in Colorado to meet a bunch of you guys here coming up soon. Autographs, photo op tickets are available at DenverPopCultureCon.com. No, it was not, but you put it in there anyway.
It says right here, sponsor D&D Beyond, and right under it, it says, "Welcome to the Mile High Denver Pop."
I'm sure they were as confused as we were when you.
I read what's put in front of me, people. I'm not a mind reader.
Polly reads what he can see between the teeth.
He's got
of
a
his
very
mouth.
tiny shark brain. He can't. He can't. That wasn't part of the announcement, was it?
No, but now you know. Go to DenverPopCultureCon.com for information. Looking forward to seeing you guys out there very soon.
You know, Denver, Colorado.
Rocky Mountain High, Colorado. Okay.
There you go. And while you're here, Sam, why don't you go ahead and tell us about what else is going on?
In case you missed it, we released a special animatic preview on April 1st of our animated series, The Legend of Vox Machina.
Really good.
It is looking good. That was a sneak peek. You can check it out now on our YouTube channel. Huge special thanks to our friend Mike Morris for designing the characters for that animatic.
Hey.
The campaign is still going strong, right, Travis?
Going strong.
Okay. And you can join it. You can join the campaign to fund this animated series at critroll.com/animated. And now it says here, would love to get a little insight from Sam about how the video came together on stream. I called up Mike Morris.
And he crushed it.
It was really good.
Yeah. He blew it.
He put it together, including the designs and also the wacky sound effects, and it was awesome. And it was a fun little April Fool's joke, but also a fun little taste of a little animated goodness. So keep,
I got to actually say that.
keep supporting.
You killed it. A+.
Thank you, Sam.
Sure.
And thank you, guys. It was relatively short announcements this week, so.
Do you need me to put on the shark costume again, just to do some more?
Always.
Really,
Sure.
anytime.
So, that being the case, guys, let's go ahead and jump into tonight's episode of Critical Role.
The adventure begins. They were always beside you, your nerdy best friends, and the DM to guide you. And they rise from the flames for the battles ahead. Villains beware, 'cause you're about to be dead. They got magic and flair, they got falchions and cunning. They don't see over there, there's a monster incoming. Inspiration is waiting, rise up, don't think twice. Put your fate in your hands, take a chance, roll the dice. Can you answer the call, digging deep in your soul? As the legend unfolds, now it's your turn to roll.
And welcome back. So last we left off, the Mighty Nein, having traversed the dangers and wastes of Xhorhas in search of the recently captured husband of Nott, long estranged since her separation with her previous life. You made your way to the city of Asarius, the city of beasts. You did some deeds for one of the local power figures, it seems, of the city, Lady Zethris Oleos, and one of them was in trade for a favor of the Bright Queen. You were, faster than you expected, whisked away to a teleportation sigil. That's for you guys there.
Yeah.
And brought to the Lucid Bastion in the center of the city of Rosanna, it seems, or Gordranas, as you've been hearing it referred to. There, as you were brought before the very court of the three ruling dens of the Kreen dynasty, you were given an audience with the bright queen, Leylas Kreen herself. Upon approaching, you made your case to meet with this mysterious prisoner that you had been seeking, and it seemed that one of the individuals who had traveled with you, this Lythir Vasun, seemed to recognize you on your way towards this destination, and piped up during this audience to notify the Bright Queen herself that he had been assaulted by you and with intent to kill him and his companion on the borders of Xhorhas across the Ashkeeper Peaks. In trying to defend yourselves and make a convincing argument, unfortunately, due to the stress and terrible perpetual die rolls, it did not go in your favor. The guards were called, and you were to be chained and brought to some form of imprisonment. Amongst the chaos, a few knowing glances amongst the group, and a silent agreement, Caleb approached Jester with clearance to make one final bid for peace, reached into her handy haversack and pulled out the dodecahedron, the beacon of which you had been carrying for oh so long. Upon its presentation, the room falls silent, weapons clattering to the marble stone floors, and as the Bright Queen took the object from your hands, tears in her eyes, proclaimed that you've brought hope to some degree back to these people. And in this moment, at least, you're heroes of the dynasty. So, as the Bright Queen, Leylas Kreen, holds the shining beacon in her grasp, looking into its warm, pulsing glow, you all standing among the gawking crowd of drow and goblin-kin nobles flanked by guards, weapons down or dropped, the silence is deafening and endless in a moment that seems to stretch forever. Until it's broken. You hear doors open on two sides as attendants of the court begin to enter. Whispers begin to kind of scatter across the lips of the various onlooking figures. Leylas, her expression changes from gratitude, the tears still wet on her cheeks, into a hardened woman, the same that you met when you first arrived. She turns and hands the artifact over to one of the nearby knights and looks back towards you and into the night, whispers, "Take this to its vault in the Darkshire and watch and double the watch. Your deed here is noted, and what quarrel you have with Lythir here is seen as absolved in the eyes of us three dens. So, travelers from the Empire who renounce their home and history, I have many questions, as I'm sure you have some of your own. I shall begin." And she backs and sits right atop her throne. Everyone who's been kind of standing, leaning forward, the breath taken out of the room, begin to come and rest back into their seats. Even Lythir himself kind of taken aback by what just transpired, his expression moving from kind of anger and frustration to kind of just processing what just happened, goes and stands quietly off to the side from the central dais. As Leylas Kreen sits on her throne, looking across you once more. How did you come upon our beacon? And why have you returned it to us?
Well, that is a tricky story. And to preface, it is difficult for me to say that we have turned our back on the Empire. Some of us are not from the Empire. But those of us who are, and all of us, have a fair share of skepticism with how things are done there. And I do not wish to see war. I don't think any of us wish to see war.
Well, war is upon you, whether you like it or not.
We did come here
to bring it to you, but we have selfish reasons as well.
I would not be a fool to assume that this was a purely altruistic journey for you. Continue.
This is my friend.
Hi.
Not the brave. Her husband is here in this kingdom. I don't know if he is here or somewhere else in your great nation. We have come to look for him. And hopefully, today leave with him. We are small pieces on this game board, and I don't pretend to know all the pieces moving on either side. But I know that there are people where I come from who are watching for you, and I know there are people here watching from where I come from. Some may know better than I, but I know that Nott's husband is somehow tied to your beacon and the war. We'd like to take him back, and I am only hoping that our offering today makes that somewhat easier to do.
Is what he says true?
It is, Your Majesty, but not just my husband. He's the father of my child, and I have been desperate to get him back, to make our family whole again. Surely, even someone of your great stature must realize that reuniting a family with its core and with its child is the most important thing a mother could ask for. We may have fibbed a bit coming in the door, but hopefully you will see that our intentions are true and noble and honest. I don't know what he's done to become imprisoned. He's gotten wrapped up in this whole magic business, but I just want him home with his son.
You watch as the Bright Queen nods towards you and glances over towards one of the nearby male drow figures sitting to the right of the dais. You can see very handsome, kind of head held high, looking down upon this with just a curious glance. A similar mantle to what you noticed Lythir wearing, but much more elaborate. And you can see the robes that he's wearing that pretty much can entirely obscure the body. They just fall, they go entirely around the mantle and close in the front, so it's just this beautiful, draped, deep purple and black robe that completely obfuscates the body. Glance down and the Bright Queen turns and goes, Shadowhand, can we confirm that there has been some kind of Imperial Goblin capture?
He's not a goblin like I am. He's a different sort. He's very handsome. He has bushy hair, pale skin, these long sideburns. I always told him to trim them, but they're very long. He's a halfling man. His name is Yeza Brenato. He's a chemist.
The Shadowhand goes, yes, we do indeed have this figure in our Dungeon of Penance.
I'm sorry, Dungeon of Penance?
She puts her hand up. When this discussion is over, you take them with you to see this prisoner. Thank you, Shadowhand. Nods his head. It is unique to see a union of hearts between Halfling and Goblin. But we also are a people who have lived through many unique lives. There is no judgment here.
That's actually pretty nice to hear.
So, I have asked a question. What is a question you would ask of me?
Oh,
What? What
Or
is...
does this mean we'll like live here forever and stuff?
Want to cut to the chase, I see. Well, first, I will say that this prisoner of yours that you're requesting could possibly be returned to you. I do not know the scope and depth of his involvement with the conflict to the west, but I'm certain the Shadow Hand will inquire, and if there is anything else required, we will attempt to close our interrogation and return him to you.
Thank you so much. I'm so grateful. If there's any way I can repay you.
Well, this request you make is also a paltry gift in trade for something as incredible as what you've brought to us.
I mean, no disrespect with this question. We have been traveling with this beacon, and we are mildly unaware of what it does. Would you mind sharing with us what it means to your people?
It's kind of a uniquely warm smile and a head cock in your direction. You've caught a bit of interest from her. She leans back and, putting her fingers in a steepled position, goes, "This object that you so unknowingly brought to us is known as a Luxon beacon. It is the body of the Lord of Light himself. A long time ago, before the gods came, the Luxon, the first light, came to this cold, dark world. And in his solitude, not understanding what he was, saw this lonely ball of rock, as lonely as she, as whatever it is trying to discover it is. And it embraced it and scattered itself to bring fire and life that gave birth to the elements, gave birth to the seas. And the many parts of the Luxon still reside buried within Exandria. We have recovered 4. And we lost 2. And we have 1 back now, thanks to you. We believe there are many more out there. And we aim to find them. We have 3.
Lost 2.
Got one back.
Got one.
3.
Very astute of you, Blue One.
And do you have any idea where the 4th one is right now?
I assume, especially given the circumstances of one's retrieval, under very, very close guard somewhere in the Dwendalian Empire.
That was my next question. Where we are from, all we hear of is the big bad other from Jorhas invading. This is what it's about. These.
There are many reasons. There have been conflicts and bloodshed across our borders with the Empire for some time.
What would it take to end the war?
Knowing what I know of the people who live across those mountains, a lot of death on either side. Do you trust them? Do you trust the king? Do you trust the people around him?
I don't know many. But I can't say that I am heartened, no.
I do not know from where particularly you grew up in the Empire, but know that you are unaware of the murderous and vile intent that has encroached and killed so many in these wastes, and stolen and burned. What happens now is retribution. What happens now has been earned by their actions, and by taking something that we require. We will not stop until we've left an equal or more share of blood across the Marrow Valley and beyond.
You say that you require it. What? You've told us what it is, but what does it do?
I remember the soldier that gave it to us as he was dying. Said it helped you have babies.
It is a very base way of putting it. Perhaps Sky Sybil would like to speak on this matter. And she turns to her left, and you see on one of the other dens, on one of the lower daises, the drow that are all sitting, and there's one chair that has this withered, ancient, elder female goblin with strings of hair that dangle down 2.5 feet almost to her toes, wrapped in these very, very wrinkled and billowing dark blue and black robes. Kind of sits out of the chair, this kind of ancient female Yoda-esque figure. Kind of steps forward. Takes like a full minute to clear her throat.
Do you want a drink? I have a flask.
No.
Oh, God.
I am Sky Sybil. Abriana Miriam.
Nope.
Abriana Miriam.
Leader of Den Miriam.
None of those words.
No, Sky Sybil.
Den Miriam.
Den Miriam.
Wrote down 10 million.
Just got fiberglass in my ears.
I have lived nearly as long as Leylas. And I am the keeper of the history. What these beacons are in the center of the consecution. When one has proven their faith, through word and deed, they are claimed by one of the ruling dens and taken to be soul-bound to the Luxon through the consecution. Should a consecuted's body die while within range of such a beacon, the soul does not pass on to the outer planes, whatever gods would vie for its dominion. The beacon draws it back. And when a child is given life within that same range of the beacon, the spirit is given another life.
I know it.
When the child comes of age to adolescence, they begin to recall memories, visions, dreams of lives past in what is called anamnesis. We seek out these children and return them to their dens, and through guided meditation, unlock their past, their lives. I have lived through several, as has the Bright Queen herself. Losing a beacon is losing a source of our cycle of rebirth and attaining a more perfect soul to eventually become an Umavi.
What is an Umavi?
An Umavi is a perfect soul. One who's lived enough lives to have learned the secrets, to learn the true meaning of why they are here, and to bring a fragment of the Luxon's puzzle to it when it is reborn, to give it purpose.
Does that mean that we were carrying around a whole bunch of souls with us?
possibly.
We also peeked in a few times into the beacon.
The Black Hand, who previously was standing there with the enclosed cloak, goes,
The Luxon is also the source of a very potent magical force.
Mm-hmm.
And what you may have gleaned from staring into one of these beacons is one of many funnels of dunamis power. It is the basis of how we've been able to free ourselves from the binds of the lineage the betrayer gods left for us, and to carve our own fates, choose our own paths, and sidestep these destinies placed upon us nonchalantly by gods that use us as playthings.
Okay.
The Bright Queen leans forward and puts hands up to both tell them to kind of back off.
So, you have asked some questions. It's my turn. Now, this favor, if we can indeed give it, is comparable to a certain degree, but is there anything else you would ask? I do not wish to keep debts.
Free passage.
To where?
Where we choose to go. We are moving towards our own destinies and serve our own interests.
To that point, I did notice that some of you would have a difficult time traversing Shohas.
And kind of glances over towards the leather-strapped laden humans in the
Speaking
party.
of, would someone cut these off of me, please?
They look so pretty though.
Yeah. I'll summon the Felch and just off the back collar. Caleb the same.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Never doing that again.
The capital city specifically would be a difficult place to tread with such company. I'm genuinely surprised you made it this far.
You're pretty talented.
Yeah, we are.
I will grant you my emblems of trust. Do not lose them, for I only grant them once.
She puts her hand up, and one of the nearby assistants comes up to the side of the throne on the right-hand side, puts aside a curtain and pulls out a small box. Opens it, rummages through it, and you see putting a stack of these small silver medallions. Closes the box, shuts it, and comes forward and presents one to each of you. You can see within the center of each of these emblems, they're about that big, they're not incredibly huge, a little bit larger than a gold piece. But in the center, you see a carved symbol of the dodecahedron with what looks to be a circle around it, but the circle is broken in places and twisting inward to form almost like a protracted sideways 8 that merges with it and extends.
These symbolize an ally of the dynasty. Keep them close, for many would wish to take them and abuse the access they provide in times of war.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, we will guard them closely. Most generous.
Yeah.
Have you any further curiosities?
Yes,
Yes.
so many.
Sadly.
I don't know if my friend over here, who spoke so eloquently on my behalf, would dare ask it, but I think he would seek knowledge. You must have access to powerful magic learning and books. He's a talented magic user himself, and maybe one who could be of use to your dynasty at some point.
If I could bridge upon that, one request that I have two, but one is that Her Ladyship consider that the empire we are from is full of very good people. Almost all. I have been scarred by the few who do not fit that category. And rather than kill the entire animal, I ask that you consider cutting the cancer out so that the whole may live.
I understand wanting retribution. And it's earned. You all have endured a lot, it seems. But equal suffering to countless innocents on the other side. I don't know if it would feel as satisfying as you think. What if we could offer judgment and vindication towards those individuals that are actually involved in wronging you?
You see this kind of soft, kind of distant thinking expression cross over her face.
Consider you might not be at war with the entire Empire, and maybe a handful of assholes instead.
But through retribution, one would eventually end up with an unending line of enemies. There is no end to that. It's not a thing that can be found.
Her expression turns strangely very dark, like uncharacteristically. And she just kind of looks ahead and goes, "The world is not as easy as you say. We do not wish to commit genocide. But defending us means that innocents will die, perhaps. But you have not seen the things I have seen. You have not known the atrocities of the calamity like I have. In these 1,200 years that I have lived and lived and lived and lived again, I have also known that the people who live under such banners themselves believe what they've been fed. So, if there are those you care for, and those you believe do not deserve the hammer that will fall upon those lands, then perhaps you should tell them to leave. For war's coming. We cannot stop it, because they will not. And I'm not about to let them have the first and final strike.
Understood. I think I speak for all of us in saying that there is no way that we could even begin to imagine what you've seen over 1,200 years. I'm sure we would be honored to learn if you would. I myself am from south of the Empire and am unfamiliar with their ways as I am with yours. I only seek to enlighten myself and maybe see a clearer picture. If we're to be guests here and find ourselves in your favor, I think it would serve all of us if perhaps we knew a bit more about your relationship with the Empire and the world.
Well, let me ask you a question then. My final question. You have many great gifts to have found your way here. And you have seen many things that may be helpful in the battles to come. Yes? Will you join us in this struggle to reclaim our final lost relic of renewal? And help us punish these insolent murderers who cut us down and steal our birthright?
If we do this, will you halt the attacks that you've been waging on the towns? Like Felderwin? At least give us a chance?
It is not something I can halt. It is something that must pass to keep the balance.
It's all about the balance.
You said that two people entered the room behind us before this all started, right? Two other individuals before she got very serious?
Meaning, there were assistants that came in.
Can we look around and see if anyone is actively casting anything, using anything?
Make perception check.
Just at a glance behind us. Oh, natural 19. 17.
Natural 19 turns to a 17? Yeah.
Oh, plus 2. No, 21.
There we go.
Reverse math.
Sorry.
You don't. That's fine. Let's do it.
For our friend.
You glance around the chamber. You don't see anything that looks like dubious spell casting or hand movements or muttering. There are whispers back and forth, but they seem to be conversational and quietly kept between members of the various dens, as you've heard them called, that exist in the central throne area. But nothing that signifies untoward spellcasting.
I can't speak for my friends. I will let them speak for themselves, but I would say I do not know. I do not know you. I do not know this land or this dynasty. I'm interested to learn. That's the best I can offer.
We serve the living, and for as long as we walk in your kingdom, we will serve all goodness that we come in contact with. But we do not, and I also apologize if I speak for everyone, we are new to this place and would know it better before we would feel comfortable giving you such fealty. I'm not saying it won't happen in the future. I would just say that I would like to know you better, know your people better. And again, we have things that we are looking for.
And Umavi, I beseech you, the fact that we have brought what we have brought to you shows, I know that you have lived so long, but I hope shows that our people are able to change and shake off the bonds that they have grown up under.
We could have easily all been killed in one of these attacks, or on our way here, and this object would have been lost forever. Through the practical thinking of war.
Have each of you been able to take a passing glimpse into the infinite light and power of possibility of the Luxon?
I mean, I think you,
We all took a gander, yeah.
It's really powerful stuff.
Hold on to that. As you take your time, as you find your way, imagine what good can be done if everyone could come to know that same power. If instead of fighting and squabbling over the location of the truth, if we could all work together to find them. Whom do you worship?
I serve the Wild Mother. I'm searching for a crematory, a kiln in the mountains. If you've heard of such a thing.
I can't say that I have, but can certainly ask around.
Regardless, we'll find it.
I hope she serves you well when the time comes.
She brought him back to life. With my help, I mean.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But should you die, what could a new life bring to you? Regardless, I appreciate you taking your time. And I understand you have many things to consider, and there is no immediate rush. For now.
One more question, if you don't mind, in our seek for understanding and knowledge. Your symbol beautiful. Can you explain its meaning to me a little bit more?
The lines represent the cycle of souls continuing forever. It is within the light of the Luxon that there is no end to it. We don't become collections. We don't become bartering pieces for entities and gods that argue and fight. We forge our own path. And in his divine light and warmth, we live and live and live again, and learn and teach forever. Those lines are the paths of the souls to infinity within the Luxon.
Well, I would just urge you to consider that a woman so adherent to cycles, I believe you also have the power to break them as well.
Did you just ask her if she was on her period?
I don't think that's what she was asking.
There's a moment where the Bright Queen kind of, the shoulders shift a bit, and a coy grin hits the left side of her mouth.
Forgive me if that was too forward.
Just surprising. You are surprising. Well, there are matters I must attend to. Shadowhand, Hessig, I assign you to be their steward for the time being. Help them find a place to stay, perhaps show them to the firmaments of the city, maybe to find their next fortune, to learn and keep handy. Professor Walker is still seeking skilled hands for her projects. Perhaps there is good to be done there.
What was that name again?
Professor Walker?
Walker.
Wacko?
Waccoh.
Are we going to the prison now?
I think if you do not mind, take them to the Dungeon of Penance through the Shadowshire and see them to the prisoner.
Thank you.
Thank you.
As we start to turn, can I call out to Lythir?
Yes.
No hard feelings, all right?
None taken.
Do you guys leave?
I guess so.
I'm good.
All right. Shadowhand Essek, who you've heard referred to, steps to the front of your troop, not even making eye contact, just kind of shifts. You watch the cloak. You don't even really see the feet touch the ground, though you hear the footfalls with the cloak just gently pulling back about an inch past where it touches the floor. The wide and kind of almost hooked edges of the mantle kind of framing the back of the head. The very, very short white hair that's almost comes to this beautiful kind of half-curved coif to one side. Walking ahead and leading you towards the doors where you originally entered. Stopping partway and looking over his shoulder and going, "Are you following?"
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Leads you on into the antechamber. The doors close behind.
Do you require a moment to speak amongst yourselves, or...
Yep.
Same antechamber with the fountain and the 3 cups.
Yeah.
And the. If you wouldn't mind, would appreciate it. Had just to check our pants and make sure nobody needs a change.
A common reaction. I'll be on the other side. Knock when you're ready.
Hey, is there like listening devices in here? You guys monitoring us?
Not that
We're in
that
here.
matters.
Why? Is there anything to mistrust?
Nope, open book. Every page being written as we speak. We'll be out shortly.
Just curious.
He turns and exits out the other doors. They come to a close, and you have, for an undisclosed period of time, it seems, privacy here within the antechamber.
Detect magic.
Yes, detect magic. The only bit of magic that you find at this point is amongst your group, and the items you're wearing.
Okay. Nothing seems to be nothing mystical happening in this place. So I think we're probably if they are listening, they're listening with the old cup and string.
I'm just gonna go around to
all the cups,
some corners, and just kind of like throw some liquid around, see if it splashes on any invisible people.
I just did a detect magic.
Sure,
Yeah,
they might have been not.
All right, make an investigation check. Sure.
A lot.
Splashy water investigation check.
24.
24. Okay.
Hey.
Nothing seems to catch your attention. I would not recommend that in here.
No.
Well, that went.
What the fuck?
I'm so proud of you.
Exactly as we totally thought it would happen, Caleb.
I don't think that was our first choice of an ending, but it is one we discussed.
You made the right call. I'm very proud of you.
I am too. I think it was the smartest choice of action. And now we have an ally that we wouldn't have had otherwise.
With really, really cool armor.
We need to talk at length, and I don't know if we can do it here. I don't
think perhaps here is the place, but we can at least.
Are you okay for it?
Yeah, no, I'm fine. Yeah, I am happy to be alive and not in jail. I wish we had just had a bit more of a chance to explore the soul box, as it were.
But knowing what we know now, I don't know that we could have done anything with it.
What do we know now? What she told us?
I think she was telling the truth, and I think we'll learn more just by walking this place at this point.
I mean, we're gonna learn. I know that I talked to a 1,200-year-old drow that's been a fucking million different people, and a goblin that was probably 999,000 people. Who knows what we're in the middle of now?
No, it's exciting.
It is exciting. It is.
Well, regardless, I think we all need direction amongst us, maybe. Kind of have a feeling like our current plan of pissing in the wind and then using that to decide our direction might not work so much anymore.
Well, the Wild Mother spoke to me while I was in the cave, and she thinks we're going the right direction.
See? Everything's good.
In what direction is that?
Toward the piss.
Toward the piss. Metaphorically speaking. We're going toward where we're needed. Our destiny awaits.
I am disappointed to part with our toy. There was a lot that I wished to learn about it, but let's be honest, there was not much of a plan for it. We did not have much of a plan.
We're now in the place where any writings that exist on it would be.
Speaking of not having any plans, I'm more disappointed in us.
Why?
We knew nothing of what we were getting into. We were asking questions to the people we were trying to deceive, things that we should have already known.
We're not good at this.
We can be better at it, though. I'm actually pretty good at it.
Well, yeah, but you were trained in it. You know, we're just a couple of people that were wandering around and found you guys. And
I was trained in it. You're right.
Yeah.
What would you have done differently? How would you have learned about them?
Everywhere that we went, you and I were not welcome.
Exactly.
They seem to be pretty guarded in their secrets and their rituals and their relics.
It's no one's fault. It was just circumstantial. And I'm not agreeing to the slave thing anymore because that was stupid.
Yeah, sorry about that.
But you were so convincing. I mean, it really...
Fuck you for it.
All right, fair enough. No more of that.
Some people are really into that stuff. I'm just putting it out there.
Have you seen that?
Really?
I've seen some of it.
Under different circumstances, it might have been enjoyable. In a place where it was literally robbing me of my voice, not super cool.
I get it. That's not cool at all.
Anyway.
Sorry I put my feet on your back.
It was a little funny. It was a little funny.
I don't remember.
It was a little funny.
I'll tell you what, though. For the first time in a very long time, I feel hopeful.
You look like you feel hopeful, Caleb.
Keep the frown on. Keep the frown on. Don't break.
I'm not breaking. I think it's going to be hell on earth for us to try to go back to the Empire. I assume everything that was said in that room is going back to Wildmount, going back to the Cerberus Assembly. My goose is cooked.
I think you're right. I think I'm going to have a very hard time finding my father now because of this. I don't know if I'll ever see my mom again because the choices made in that room.
If you want to see your mother, I can get you back to your mother pretty soon.
Jester has a point, though. Kind of goes for a lot of us.
But we have, if we play it right, very strong allies. And things that were impossible yesterday are possible today.
This is true.
It is true. It just depends on what type of possible you're looking for. And I think your allies here are owed a little bit more of an explanation. Hope bringer.
Not in this room.
I was going to say the same. Maybe we should save this for a bit later. We should be celebrating the good news that we're going to recover Yeza.
That's true.
At least she didn't say that we could take. She just said, see.
She said maybe? Maybe.
We could at the very least argue for conditions.
I have to admit, I'm excited about that, but it was a possibility that I did not think was real-ish. So I'm also now kind of nervous.
Has he seen you like this?
Nope.
Oh, not at all?
Nope.
Okay.
Would it be helpful if when you first spoke to him, you looked like you used to?
Of course.
We could do that.
Yes. But for how long?
Possible that perhaps this is a bandage that should be pulled at some point.
Oh, I don't know. I mean, it's a rough scab.
It's not going to heal right if
Doesn't look good.
you don't.
You know your husband. You have a child together.
Does he hate goblins as much as you did?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they're awful.
Well, you know what might soften the blow a little bit?
Alcohol?
Freedom.
True.
What if I sent him a message and just let him know, hey, P.S., she doesn't look quite like you remember her, but, you know, she's still your wife, she loves you very much and stuff.
Actually, that's not a terrible idea. Yeah.
By the way, he's expecting something.
Just prep it just a bit. Just plant the seed, let it grow.
Or we can totally transform you, and he never has to know. We'll just consistently keep casting this spell on you and stuff. Forever.
Seems labor intensive.
It will use a lot of magic, but we're willing to do it for you.
And you'll never be alone in a room again.
Yeah.
Make lovemaking very difficult. Guess we could give him a little heads up. Although I don't know when we're going to see him. Is it now?
as soon
Is
as we leave
it 5
here.
minutes from now? Do we have to
we're-
travel across the country to see him?
We're
He's
heading that
probably
way.
like downstairs or something.
Are we in? Where are we? Are we in Gordranus right now?
Yeah.
Rosanna in Gordranus.
How did that happen?
No, Rosanna is Gordranus.
Oh.
Just a different name.
Like
Rosanna is their name for it. Gordranus is our bastardized name for it.
Oh.
Right.
Remember, we took a teleportation circle.
Yeah, Gordranus is the name for the location, as it was the capital for the Betrayer gods during the calamity to the diversions.
They don't want it to be Betrayer gods anymore.
Oh, gosh.
Make an intelligence check.
See, that's just extra. That's extra info.
Just straight intelligence?
Yeah.
8.
Okay. No worries.
Oh, son of a...
Just curious.
Ooh.
Yeah, maybe give him a headsy.
You're nervous
okay.
about where we are.
I mean, the former capital of where the betrayer gods were during the calamity.
I don't even know what that is. Who are those important figures?
I mean, they weren't good. Betrayer is inherently bad, right?
But then they changed the name, so maybe they didn't like them either.
Yep. Just a total rebrand. I'm sure there was nothing left behind after that.
I mean, don't judge people based on, their parents. Some people...
Yes, absolutely.
yeah.
I'm just suspicious. That's all.
Understandable.
Okay.
But I think the Bright Queen was pretty cool.
This version of the Bright Queen.
What does that mean?
That means she's got 1,200 lifetimes. Well, no, that would be very short lives.
It means he was a fan of the previous Doctor Who series.
You and yes.
From what I've read, she could also probably have killed us all herself without any help.
Yeah, she's
Yeah.
really strong, I would assume.
I don't know. You're pretty good. You could have done Wall of Fire.
1,000 years of training is pretty top-notch.
Wow. No wonder her armor is cool.
How about we let them know that we'll feel free to
Give us
move?
some, armor or diamonds or, gem dust or something.
You want to go back and ask?
Should we just go,
Should we go back and ask for stuff and for, jewels
right now.
And perhaps not directly to her, but...
And if they have work for us, so we can maybe earn a little something. And
You mentioned Professor Wacko.
I feel like perhaps if we start doing our good work here, things will manifest.
I'm going to cast Sending.
Okay.
That pen is fucking dope.
I know, it's
Jess.
so
Such a
cute.
good pen.
I want to eat it.
I can't wait for
It's really
him
hard
to
to put it
steal
in
it.
my mouth. On Yeza.
While she's casting, I'm going to start getting drunk.
Okay.
No, I pull whatever you're drinking down.
I need it!
No, you don't. A smacker. You don't need this.
Why?
You're all the woman you need to be.
You're so tall, but your slaps are so ineffectual. It's like you rub her wrists or something. It did almost nothing to me. Nothing at all. What? How do you even hold the falchion?
Oh no. Don't make Ford
Made
cry.
fun of his tennis wrist. Come on.
Let me drink my drink.
No.
I'm scared.
Yes, but you love him. You don't want to be drunk the first time you see him again.
I'm just gonna.
I was drunk the first time that we...
Okay.
All right. I won't get drunk.
Guess what? We're here! But Nott needs to let you know she looks a little different.
My name's not... No. That.
That is Nott.
That's confusing.
She still loves you. Okay. Oh.
Wow. 25, right?
You don't have to use all the words, but
Don't say that.
Come on.
We're on our way.
We're on our way.
Yeah.
You got it.
It is not. What?
Wait, I'm waiting.
That is here? What? You're... Are you being serious? I guess you can't say. Thank you.
that's it.
Oh, he seemed really excited to see you. Also kind of confused.
Maybe I should get drunk.
Maybe we should cast it on you.
Cast what on me?
Polymorph or something.
Polymorph? You want to make me a griffin or something?
No, can't we make you look like you used to?
I can make me look like that.
Oh, that's right. But the thing is like, if we cast like a physical spell on you, then when he touches you, you'll still feel like you. But if you cast disguise on you, then when he touches you, he'll know that you have these ears and stuff.
I mean, it's like dipping your toe in the water before you fully jump in. It might be nice to ease him into it.
How do you do that?
You turn yourself and then into you, and then be like, so,
but don't
have
touch.
a thing.
Okay.
Or maybe even introduce through touch first. You know, one
That's good. That's cool. That's
one
cool.
sensory overload at a time.
Okay. Okay.
Yep.
Okay.
You're just going to slowly turn up the temperature on the situation.
Just a hand,
ease him
and then
in.
an arm, and then an ear, and then like your lower jaw.
Big old goblin titty.
All right. And you guys will just be creepily watching all this happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't miss this for the world. We're ready to go.
It's like a proposal video. We're going to be filming it.
Ask yourself.
Reaction.
Oh, it's happening. We're doing this.
going.
All
Or
right.
should you do it when we get closer? Because
I don't know.
For what, an hour?
Let's ask Mr. Essek. What's
The
going
door's
on?
open, and the Shadow Hand is standing there. Are you ready?
Man, that was so dramatic. I believe we are.
How far away is the dungeon?
I'd say about, by foot, an hour's travel at most.
Okay, so maybe wait just a minute.
I will.
Okay.
Very well, follow me. And he turns
Do
around.
like an insight check on him and make sure that this guy's not going to turn on us and just throw us in jail and be like, fuck you guys.
Sure, make an insight check.
Good thing I can
like
cast Ascending on.
Okay, I gotta remember my stats again. 23.
Oh no. He's definitely planning something.
Guys, D&D Beyond will be in Denver.
No.
That is not true. That was a mistake. They are everywhere though. Everywhere that you have your tablet device and a login.
Among other places.
Yeah, you can get D&D Beyond in any nation of the world as long as you have access to internet and an excitement for the joys of D&D.
There we go. All right. Very well, follow me. He turns around and continues to walk. Now,
Fuck, it seems legit.
leading you through the long hallway which you enter, but passing onto the opposite end, walking for hundreds of feet on this massive, just awe-inspiring cathedral-like interior. The doors open and lead you immediately outside. The scent of embers and crisp night air hit your nose as you see the dark of night above you, though the timing of the day should be daytime. You know this very specifically. But you look up to a dark sky, stars visible. It's curious, but comfortable, not too chill.
Stars visible?
Yeah.
Why is it so dark outside?
Oh, that's right, you're not from around here. For most of us, sunlight can be a bit of a bother. And while we do have periods of worship in which we give ourselves to the sunlight as part of our means of showing our faith, it does impede our day-to-day business. So as part of our craft, we found a way to keep it at bay for as long as we'd like.
How high does this darkness rise?
About a mile.
That is fascinating.
Oh, there's so much more. Come.
The correct stars in the sky?
It's where they would be.
All right.
It's as if there was no sun at all above you.
It's not a different sky. It's this sky.
It's this sky. Just
All right.
through a lens of Dunamantic magic.
What do we call you? Just Shadow Hand, or is there another name you prefer?
Shadowhand Essek Thalis.
Essek Thalis.
Of Den Thalis.
Sure.
Oh, yeah. Den Thalos is like the most popular one.
That's one of the top 3, is that right?
It is indeed.
Yeah.
Is it impolite, forgive me if it is, to ask how many years you have been through the beacon?
Interestingly enough, while I am consecuted, I have not gone beyond the first life yet.
Ah.
I am what you would refer to as a prodigy of Dunamancy, and the Den was very kind to accept me for one comparably young as myself. I've only in partway into my second century, so.
A great honor.
This is. Anyway, come. We have a prison to show you to. As he turns, you can now see before you, throughout the vicinity, this beautiful courtyard of subtle gray and green bushes and trees, and you see that you're on a hill. The center of the city seems to be on some sort of a hilltop, and looking down you could see the perimeter wall itself made of like a dull gray with almost a purplish tint type stone, and across the crest of it you see these green lanterns that just alight with this soft green glow. And beyond that, beyond the barricades, your vision stretches out to see the entirety, it seems, of Rosanna. This incredible, vast metropolis, lit with thousands of the same little green lantern glows. You see stone and metal and dark clay making up all the structures in various sizes and shapes, some of which have been repurposed ruins of old that have been built upon and refurbished, some of which, at least closer to the center, appear to be extensions of an elvish domicile design that is familiar yet unfamiliar. In some ways slender and jagged, but beautiful and sleek. And then beyond that, you can see extending wards of the city that tend to be a little more patchwork and scattered. You can see distant bonfires that are lit in some of the streets, giving distinct orange glows that break up the rest of the green, sparkling lights that make up the entirety of your vision. It's beautiful. In the district beyond you, you can see these broken spires of curved metal that seem to have some sort of a more of industrious feel to it. You can see, well, you're guessing it's probably the firmaments, the way that it's guiding you towards it. Suddenly, you hear the screech kind of go through the sky above, and you glance up and instinctually duck. And in the dark night sky, you can see what looks to be a pack of ash-gray griffins passing overhead. Elements of green armor affixed to their bodies atop where you can see riders scanning the skies, about 12 of them just kind of keeping watch over the vicinity.
That's one each if we, decided to.
Essek leads you beyond the outer perimeter of this region and into this next area, which he tells you, welcome to the firmaments. This is the place of higher learning. This is where, based on what you have been talking about and your curiosity, perhaps you'll be returning to, maybe when this ordeal is done. Especially if you're looking for the professor. She is within the Marble Tomes Conservatory, and should be a unique meeting of minds I would like to be present for. But this way. Glides along and leads you to what looks to be a large curving stairway between two intricate pillars that digs beneath the ground. The path leading below. As you follow suit, you can feel kind of the cold temperature begin to get colder as you descend. The sound, just the echoing of the clacking of your feet on the stone steps. Each footfall getting seemingly louder as the quiet that approaches gets more and more deafening. Then the echoes begin to fade. About 5 minutes of travel down through this very wide, curving spiral, until you open up into a grandiose subterranean cavern. You can see what, it's about a quarter mile across in every direction, and it appears it's some sort of a pillar that you've been spiraling down towards, and when you step out and walk along the side, there are 3 visible pillars that seem to rise up into the ceiling, which might be other ways of traversing down into what you can only assume is the Shadowshire. Now, the rough-hewn ceilings above, a couple 100 feet above you, glow with a blue moss that fills in the nooks and crannies between what looks to be protruding bits of rough rock and crystals and other bits of strange exposed ore that kind of glimmers in the way that the soft glow hits it at certain angles as you walk by. The base of the cavern around you
is a surprisingly bustling new neighborhood of stone and glass, lit with the same green lantern light. The streets are filled with drow, and it seems primarily drow down here. Essek leads you onward towards an iron structure. You can see the faces of people nearby kind of watching as you pass, some of them with a look of discomfort and surprise, others just genuine curiosity, but they seem to not pay mind with Essek leading the pack, especially since he's leading you towards what looks to be an iron structure designed for a more daunting task, with its spiked metallic railing and burning braziers flanking the large front doors. You imagine this is probably some sort of entrance towards the prison he's leading to you. And that pathway you're taking seems to set most of the nearby denizens at ease. Now, Essek wordlessly approaches the guard before they open the doors before you. The heavy metal grinding open as you step inside. Immediately, the smell of very kind of acrid iron type scent hits your nose, like oxidizing metal meets rotting citrus. It's not a pleasant smell. And as you enter, you're whisked along. It's strange. You follow Essek, and as you do, you feel like your pace is quickened. People pass by other guards, but they kind of blur past, like you're unable to necessarily focus. Something is subtly influencing you to make it difficult to really trace the path you take to where you're going.
Ooh, cool.
Got it.
You're quickly whisked down another hallway to another set of stairs. And the smell of iron now mixes with the smell of sweat and rot and dung. You try and focus on the door you're being led through, and then you're ushered through it. Almost, you're moving under your own power, but almost not. It's a strange experience.
I think it feels really weird down here.
As it should. You have not been here before.
You're not going to leave us down here or something, are you?
Was that part of the deal?
No.
He keeps walking.
Do you not feel the same effects?
No. Time is one of my specialities. As you head down into the subterranean series of tunnels, you pass by cells, iron bars, grates. You can see off to the edges what little bits of light there are from these small burning flames, magically lit and perpetually crackling up in their small iron cages. In the shadows there look to be multiple figures, some human, some ogreish, with more reinforced bars, drow, emaciated, beaten. Who knows? Not looking happy and healthy, but then again, what good dungeon of penance would?
Yeah.
You go past another whirl of metal gates, and you suddenly stop before a cell. Essek nods to a jailer across the way that you didn't notice was there, and suddenly is standing on the opposite end, and he pulls out a ring of keys and pulls the gate open and steps away. Essek turns. Well then, the prisoner is all yours.
Oh. Are we all in the room?
You all are standing outside of the cell. The door is open.
How long do we have?
As much as you need.
Thank you. And how do we... will you stay, or do we call?
Oh, I'll be right here.
Excellent.
Do we get to take him? Do we leave with him, then?
Depends.
Do we have to kill you to get him out of here?
I'd like to see you try. No. I get to decide.
Oh.
Are there specific criteria?
Maybe.
That seems very fair. Our intentions are very simple.
I really think that you're very handsome and that you seem like a really cool guy, and I hope we can be friends and stuff.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Any other eyes down the hallway besides Shadow Hand?
There's the jailer is about 15 feet down that way and is kind of just resting in the back.
Great. Green armor, same sort of thing?
Actually, no, not classically like battle set green armor. Simple leather armor. Drow, but like a burly drow.
Yep.
Wearing just a dark hood, sleeveless, so you can see the arms are exposed, like a leather tunic, and then a hood that's affixed to it that is also dark leather that is up currently.
Okay.
And it's just kind of sitting there, leaning against the wall, just kind of facing forward, kind of occasionally glancing over out of the corner of the eye to just keep an eye on things, but that's it.
I'm going to drop down to my knees in front of Nott. Are you okay?
Nope.
Well, if it's any help, you're not alone. No matter what happens, we'll be here for you.
Thank you. Don't leave. In fact, maybe one of you or something could go in first and just sort of
present you or something.
Jester,
maybe.
You've been speaking to him.
That's true. I have been. I could present you.
Sure, that's a good idea.
Yes.
Don't build me up too much because I don't know if I get a detail wrong or something or.
I'll let him know. You know, you're a little different. Okay. But you're the same.
All right. Do you have any of those oils?
Like, you want to wear my mom's perfume?
Yes.
Okay, here. I put a little lavender oil around her neck. Here, put it on your wrist too. I'm almost it right here.
Can I just a little bit, just in case.
That's really, if you want, here, put it on your finger or something, because that's.
Oh, wow.
I just didn't want to use the actual thing for it.
It's not a conjugal visit, I didn't know. Is that one of the criteria?
I don't know. Prepared for anything. You don't go to a date with $2 in your pocket and shitty underwear, do you? No.
Good question. Is the prisoner alone in this cell?
You look into the cell?
You wear the best fucking underwear you own.
I mean, I did once, but never after that.
Just in case.
Keep wearing it every day. Lucky underwear.
I love that you even know that there are best underwear.
Some part of leather armor.
The cell is about 20 feet deep, 10 feet wide. Aside from the bars towards the very front, the chamber itself is solid iron. The floor itself is stone, very hardy stone, and elements of the floor have scattered bits of soft dried grasses. There appears to be a bedroll that is tossed in the corner and a pot. And you see off in the corner, knees to the chest, looking forward, kind of spooked, a halfling man, kind of curly, matted brown hair, gaunt, pale, bags under his eyes, wearing just a basic cloth tunic that looks like somewhat torn in one sleeve, remnants of a vest, actually looks partially eaten, slacks that appear to be scraped and torn in places, but Aaron is just kind of knees clutched to the chest.
He's in there by himself. Are you?
I'll cast disguise self on myself, and I will look like Veth Branato, dark skin, bushy eyebrows, gold band across her hair, long dark hair, necklace made of buttons, gray dress, little booties. Some baubles and trinkets all over. That's it. But you go in first.
Yeah, you go
in
really
first.
good.
Okay, set me up.
Okay. I walk in.
Who's there?
Guess who it is?
Yeah, that's
serious? He's been eating this shirt. Fucking Will I die? I don't know. Sean Valjean, 20 years breaking rocks.
We've got balloon animals.
I I don't have a word limit now, buddy.
Makes me so sad.
As soon as you say that, he kind of skitters back a bit. I recognize that voice.
Yeah, right? Just like I said, yes, sir?
You weren't lying. You were.
No. You're not crazy, I swear.
He kind of scrambles up a little bit, like getting to his feet and kind of catches himself on the wall, a little woozy.
Yeah, take it easy. You've been down here I don't know how long.
Where is she?
She is waiting outside the cell. I'm just coming in because I want to let you know, that, as you know, things are a little different than they were before, right? But she still loves you so much that we all had to come here for you. We came really far to rescue you because she loves you so much. Okay?
Okay.
Okay. And just keep an open mind and remember that, sometimes we look different, but in our hearts we're still very much the same.
Do you have any food and water?
Yes. I looked through my bag.
Stale, busted ass.
Really?
Penicillin growing.
Yeah, like it's a really crusty. Okay.
And it's just scarfing.
He's eating cordyceps.
Yeah, and here's a little taste of honey.
It's been a while.
Don't make yourself sick now.
Water?
Yes. I have a canteen, I think.
By the way, all the Mighty Nein is in the hall going.
Yep.
And just finishes off the wineskin, hands back. Thank you.
You're welcome.
It's his burp.
It's how I imagined it would be.
While all this is happening, I'm just kind of keeping an eye on Essek.
Okay.
Just kind of lightly.
Okay, well, close your eyes.
Okay.
Okay.
Ready?
Yes.
Okay.
Come on in here then. I'm going to
walk into the room.
slowly back away.
Hi, hi, sweetie. It's me, Hans Buns.
His eyes open and blink, and then rubs them. I thought the packages were a joke. Somebody was playing on me.
No,
Was that really you?
it was me. I was trying to, make sure you were taken care of. I know you're a terrible cook, and,
Lessons, compounds, yeah. Where have you been?
a lot has happened. When we separated that night, I was taken and terrible things were done to me. And I was changed a bit.
It's okay.
No, don't touch me. Not yet, anyway. I'm sorry. It's just what you're seeing is not how I really look. It's an illusion. I look much different, and I'm afraid you won't like it, and that's okay. Because it's not me. It's what they turned me into.
You think that matters?
Yes, I do. It matters to me.
It's still you, right?
It is.
And you're alive?
I am.
That's the best news I've heard in a long time.
If I show you, will you, promise not to laugh or cry or, throw a rock or something?
I promise.
She's really strong, so if you did, she might just like...
I would cut you.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say, like, restrain. He's my husband.
Don't you hurt my friend.
Who?
She loves you so much.
Okay. Who is...
She's my friend. I have a bunch of friends. They're all outside. They're probably poking their heads in right now.
Just one hand sticks out.
Hi, friends.
Yeah. They helped me get here, and they helped me find you, and they're going to help me become me again someday. But for now, they've helped me get to you, which is the best gift ever. And I'm so happy you're alive. I saw Luke. He's okay.
Is he okay?
He's okay. He's fine. He's safe in Allfield right now.
Okay.
But actually,
when they attacked, I was luckily he was at Edith's, and I was afraid until you began to talk to me. But I didn't know what to trust anymore. I've been kind of in a daze. I'm sorry.
We have a lot to talk about. I don't know if they'll let me take you away from here today, but for now, just know that my only existence has been getting back to you and the boy this whole time, and I'm sorry it's taken me this long.
It's okay.
I'm going to just back out of the room to give you guys some privacy.
They turned me into a monster, honey. And just... I won't always be like this, but... You know, Bo made a good suggestion. Maybe just come over and just take my hand first.
As he reaches out, there's like a trepidation, almost like he's afraid you'll disappear. He touches your fingertips and takes your hand and kind of just runs his fingers over yours.
It's a little weird, right?
Maybe, but you're warm.
Touch my face.
There's a lot going on here.
Yeah, maybe the touch thing doesn't. Maybe that makes it even creepier somehow. No, yeah.
It kind of like finds the ears.
Oh,
and
yeah.
oh.
Those are long. They're long. They just keep going. Just keep going.
It just touches kind of the nose and the lips and the chin.
It's a mess. It's a nightmare place. This whole area is just rough.
But it's you, right? It's Sveth.
It's me. I mean, I think it is. It's me. It's me inside. But it's the wrong body. It's the wrong body, but it's the right me. So here, I'll just show you, and I'll drop the spell.
There's a brief moment where you just hear the breath kind of. And you watch him process.
I kind of turn around slowly.
As you turn around, you feel his hand touch your shoulder and stop you. It's still you, though, right?
Yeah.
That's all that matters. It'll take a little getting used to. I don't even... That's a lot of teeth.
It's a lot of teeth, yep. You don't We don't have to kiss or anything. I don't even know how that would work. I mean, when I spent some time with the goblins, they held me prisoner, and they don't really kiss. I can see why. It would just be like a lot of clacking.
Yeah. Like throwing all the dishes into a pile. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you can. I know I'm hideous. You don't have to hold back. He
just goes in and takes you and wraps his arms around you.
I'll hug him back. Squeeze his little butt.
I hope you like lavender.
No words. Just holds you for a minute, 2.
I'm so happy to see you. I'm so happy that you've seen me. It's like a fresh start. Well, no. It's like a new chance. There's still a long way for me to go. And I'm afraid.
Kind of pulls away a little bit and looks you in the eyes, kind of bending down a little bit. What are you afraid of now? I mean, you survived what the goblins did to you. You came this way. I mean, I know how far you came. They dragged me through it. This is it's a very bad place. And you came here for me. I mean, that's braver than I could ever be. I don't know what you could possibly be scared of now.
I'm scared of having to do it all again. Now that I'm with you, I don't know how I could be apart from you, but I think for us to be together, we'll have to be apart again. We've learned things that have complicated our lives even more than before.
Yeah. Things have been really intense for a few months.
Our son is out there, and I'm afraid now that he's actually in a place that's maybe even more dangerous than this cell. One of us needs to get to him. And I don't know if it can be you. I don't know what they have planned for you.
I mean, the lady?
Yeah, what lady?
Duragna, the one that hired me.
Who's that? Caleb!
Yes.
Who's Duragna?
She's part of the Cerberus Assembly.
Oh, this is Caleb, by the way. He's the reason I'm alive.
Hi, thank you.
He's the second smartest man in the world. Really, really great guy. He's helped me, saved my life so many times.
I've heard so much about you. I hear you really know your way around a laboratory.
Occasionally. Gets me into trouble, it seems. But,
we're just friends. He and I are just friends, though.
They're not romantic in any way.
Yeah,
don't worry. She thinks she's like her son.
Okay. Yours?
No, she doesn't know what she's talking about. He's a friend of mine.
Okay. No, I don't...
One of many. Come in.
What's up?
Oh, this is a motley crew you got here. Oh, she's big. And looks at Yasha as she comes from behind. Hello.
Hey. Hi.
Oh, what's that growing on your shield?
Oh, yeah, that's, this is kind of interesting, actually, here.
It's like on a semi-phosphorus organic matter. I'm curious to know the properties of this when we have a chance.
Sure.
Anyway.
That's a lot of word. You can keep that. That's okay. Well, no, that's fair. You can do that.
I can't stay here. If we go back, I have to be careful. That lady, she's in with some really powerful people, and I mean, we began to run these experiments.
She hired you?
Yeah, they reached out. A recommendation. I would have thought.
Oh, well, I was always saying that you should promote yourself more, get out there.
I'm really bad at that.
I know, but you should always lead with confidence because people really respond to that.
You know I'm really good at that.
Yeah.
Maybe you could tell us all about that later over dinner or something.
Okay.
After we leave, we'll get you fed.
As it kind of steps into the bars and goes, or we can discuss it now as the means of your release.
Oh.
Sure.
What do we need to cover here, sir?
The Shadow Hand looks towards Mrs. This Derugna, what did they hire you for? What did you do? And what do you know of what you've created? I don't have like a special talent or anything. She hired me, she bought this strange box thing, and she began to do experiments. She brought some people in to do different types of magic, arcane, divine, I don't know the variations there, but they would be able to pull this like weird ethereal film out of it, this kind of like gray mist, and then it was my job to try and find a compound that it would adhere to so it could be brought into an actual usable physical form. And they paid well. They said it was for the good of the Empire, and the Empire's always been kind to us. And
excuse me.
I'm
just gonna
very limited way, just like making sure the roads were okay.
Just 1 second.
Contact.
I'll step outside of the cell.
For months, he worked in the basement. I came working on trying to get this to work, and it was really frustrating. And they were frustrated with me, and they were threatening to cancel the contract. But then I found it. I found a compound that would actually bond this material to it and distill it. And we made one successful vial of it. It was a breakthrough. I was proud. She's usually very intense, but she was very nice that day. She was very positive. And so she said this was good work. She appreciated it. She said that they'd go off in the experiments for a while. She took the box back with her, saying that they were going to hire me to make a lot more of these soon, and they were going to ramp up production. They would hopefully be able to provide enough gold where we could buy a new home for like me and Luke, and now you. We're thinking maybe like Diastock or Trostenwald or something, but not but 2 days later, the house was attacked. And kind of looks up at Essek. Thankfully, Luke was off at Edith's house, and they destroyed everything. They asked me questions, but Lady Derugna said not to tell anybody anything, that if anybody was told about what we were doing, that she would take Luke away, and I can't let that happen. So she can't know about this. She looks over towards the Shadow Hand. She cannot know about this, please. He dragged me through all these terrible places, chained to like a giant nightmare, this worm thing. And they brought me here, and they just watched me from the shadows, asking me questions about experiments and starving me. But I didn't say anything. I didn't say anything because I knew you were coming, and I didn't want anything to happen to Luke, and I didn't tell them anything. That's it. The Shadow Hand just stands there smiling and goes, very well.
Seems that not all forms of interrogation are effective, but alternate means can be. The prisoner is free to go. He is your charge now.
Really?
Of course, we have what we need. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Are we free to go? Do I believe him?
Make an insight check.
I mean,
Have I seen
don't
any
sense lying at this point.
Natural 20.
What was your question?
I was wondering if I saw any indication of what forms of interrogation they were using. Walking through.
Starvation.
With your passive perception and your lack of dark vision, you haven't seen really much anything. You've seen the outside of the cells and occasional shapes moving for what little light makes it through, but you haven't gained any information in a passing stance to ascertain what that is. Now for you, it's a natural 20, but what's your totality?
Insight is -2, so 18.
18.
Guys, D&D Beyond.
D&D.
Beyond.
That was
My
so-
shark act?
No.
Thank
not
you.
that.
I worked really hard on it.
You.
That was
a little rainbow
You had managed to drive the shark out of our minds. Why would you recall?
He looks back to the jailer. Close up the cell. We no longer have reason to use it. Come, I will bring you back to the surface. And you come along as well, my friend. He looks down and smiles at Yeza, and Yeza's kind of... Okay. Essek turns and begins to walk. Do you follow?
Yeah. Yeah, I'll take Yeza by the hand.
Okay. He takes yours and just kind of squeezes it. His grip isn't very strong. He's still pretty weak.
Never was. Like Ford.
It's like 5 noodles at the end of the stick.
It's a long hop from grog. Guided back through the process, the same weird sensation overwhelms you, and it feels like you're... It almost feels like a form of intoxication where you feel sluggish, but everything around you is moving very quickly. And it's just a blur of lights and faces and guards and people and stairs and doorways, and suddenly you're outside of the iron barracks amongst
That's why I don't drink.
the Shadowshire. Well, if you're looking for a place to stay, I have a recommendation. I can go ahead and lead you to the Galamafri, which is the more rowdy district. Seems to be a little more your style. There is the Dim's Inn. We'll get you a room there.
Dim's Inn?
The Dim's Inn.
The Galamari or the Agalamari?
Galamafri.
Galamafri.
Galamafri is
we also
the place or the district?
That's the
that it's in?
district.
The district.
might be looking for a blacksmith at some point too. If you have a recommendation for someone who's extremely skilled, someone who you would be impressed by.
Don't deal much in blacksmithy. Not my speciality. And his hand kind of rises out of the curtains that is his cloak, and his hand passes. You watch as these kind of trails of somewhat translucent gray energy kind of drifts off his fingertips for a second and kind of float there before dissipating.
Seemed a man of taste. I just thought I'd ask.
Were there like 6 kobolds inside of his fucking robes?
Make a perception check.
Natural 1!
Like 17 kobolds. It's following you, Ford. We'll see what we can do. But for now, let's go get you.
You disturbed there at the inn for being outsiders or anything?
Not those medallions. I recommend not losing them.
I won't.
Good. Come.
I like this guy.
I don't know about this guy.
I think he's pretty cool.
I kind of like
As you follow him through the Shadowshire back to the stairs ascending.
Small thing. As everyone's walking, Caleb sidles up next to Nott, places a hand on her shoulder and gives it a squeeze, and then walks off and falls in by Beauregard and keeps walking.
Okay. Ascending the wide spiral stairs back to the surface of Rosanna, Gordranas.
We're going to go take a break.
Wow.
I mean, I love you, Travis. I love you, Travis, but 3 months at sea, 2 weeks in Gordranus, my storyline completed. just a clean arc. Just a clean arc. Yours is just what?
Yeah. Can't help you if you have a thin storyline.
Oh man.
You guys haven't tried the bone yet. You don't know.
Me and Travis? We've tried a lot.
Oh, okay.
Alrighty.
Square peg in a round hole.
On that note,
We kept pushing them together, but nothing happened. Can't force it.
Wow.
so we're going to go ahead and take a break here for a number of minutes. In the meantime, we do have our giveaway. So our friends at Wormwood are giving away another one of their Kickstarter sets of their fantastic. These are monkey wood tabletop tiles. Is the actual monkey wood? Yes. You can check out Wormwood's Kickstarter for these right now to pick up your own set. They're awesome. They magnetize together and they create all these cool elements. Like there's a dice jail, there's a spell slot coordinator, which you use magnets to pull it out, which is awesome.
You can just say like, I want to let Laura have them, and then
Laura can't have them. They're for you. But nevertheless, we'll have a winner back for that shortly. Tonight's word is alliances, plural. Alliances. Go ahead and put that once into our Twitch chat. More than once will be disqualified. And once again, for people in the US and Canada, excluding Quebec, because of dumb laws. But we'll be back here shortly. We'll see you in a bit.
You got the perfect warlock, her weapons and supplies. But you need a place to track your stuff, cause you're so disorganized. You click open the webpage, you heard about a critical role, and now you're ready to kick some butt in a mine shot full of no's. It's TNT! TNT Beyond! Yeah, TNT! TNT Beyond! You got your stats, you got your swords, and you got your invisible wall! It's TNT! TNT Beyond!
I just want to watch my Critical Role.
For your consideration, this is the face of a critter who's craving their Critical Role content. But for this sanctimonious shipper, time misled them like a trip to the Feywild. They now have come face to face with existential dread, a fear of sardonic spoilers. Let us lead them across the bridge into a realm of bright shadows where, even if one misses the live viewing of their favorite program, they can still watch it on demand if they bear the mark of a Twitch subscription to the channel. That mark, a mysterious sigil of emoticons made by the sage, Arsqueef. In this land of shadow known as the Twitch subscription zone, no shipper, fanficker, or please name my kitten litter critter has to feel like a bitter fritter. And so ends another meandering digression, a complicated parody promo down an indistinct highway to the region we call the Twitch subscription zone.
Subscribe. Twitch Prime subscribe. Gift subscribe. Subscribe. You should check to see if you've left the oven on.
Last time on Yeehaw Game Ranch.
This is one of our favorite games.
Did someone say games?
We heard there's a lot more critters that need names, so we actually got you one.
Oh, yeah? Well, what the hell is it?
The one janky leg.
Now, listen, I feel harping on my injuries is beyond the pale, son.
No, we're not. The name that was chosen for you by everyone was...
what the hell is it?
It was Tetanus Terry.
Well, fuck. I hate it.
Yeah, yep.
That's actually a pretty good...
now listen up.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
This place ain't all what it seems. Oh my God. It ain't all just blasting your 6-shooters and eating processed cheese bits. This place is a vessel.
A vessel? A vessel to what?
Shut up, string bean. I was talking to the big one.
Oh.
The game ranch is like a mill, and you boys need to start turning the wheel.
Look at that.
And how you slackjaws do that is by playing games.
That's the next level.
You keep doing that, biggin', and your hooting and hollering will charge it up for the big day.
Wait, the big day? They said a big day?
Oh.
Is that the prophecy that Ruby was talking about?
She told you about it, huh? Well, that's for her to explain. Now get to playing those games, boys, and start healing the rift. The game verse is depending on you.
The rift? The game verse? Dude, which wood are you in, bro? I hit you with the knife at that last second. I got kill of the game, though. Let's see what this is.
Let's watch it.
Oh, yeah, this was beautiful.
Yeah.
A clinic. A clinic. Ooh.
In the foot.
That wasn't in the foot.
Where was it?
It was in his balls. You would know if you had me, if you weren't synthetic.
Those are some long balls, my friend.
Oh, so close.
I was really close.
No, you weren't.
Okay, here we go. 10 seconds. 10 seconds, 10 seconds, 10 seconds. Dude, Max sleeps on this carpet. It's disgusting. Oh, you're still alive? You motherfucker! Where are you? Hold still!
Oh my God!
Like that?
They got magic and flair. They got falchions and cunning. They don't see over there. There's a monster incoming. Inspiration is waiting. Rise up, don't think twice. Put your fate in your hands. Take a chance, roll the dice.
I'm Sam Riegel. I am a cast member of Critical Role, and I wrote the theme song for the Legend of Vox Machina animated series.
Actually, the way that happened was me asking Sam, hey, you made that jingle for D&D Beyond that was so incredible. Do you have any other, stuff flying around in your brain? And he sent me back an a cappella version of the song that he recorded one night at 11:30 after his kids went to bed, and it blew my mind.
Okay, here's an idea. Very basic. The beat is like there will be drums. The vocals are something like, the adventure begins. They will always beside you.
Taking my initial demo and turning it into like a really cool song, which it is. It took a while, actually. We needed real instruments because the first demo was just me singing at an iPhone. So we turned to our friend Jason Charles Miller, who did the original composition of the original theme song.
Well, it's funny because Sam called me and he said, hey, I took your theme and I wrote lyrics to it and I put a melody over top of it. And I was like, okay, that's interesting. Let me hear this. And he sent me this tape of him just going like, you know, roll, roll, critical, critical, like just him all a cappella over top of it. But when I heard it, I said, oh, okay, cool. Then we can add this here, and we can do that there, and we can put the original melody back in here. And then we had fun just going back and forth with it.
Then we had even more players play on it. So we got a violinist named Cole McGinnis, I'm sure I'm saying that wrong, to do violins for it. And we did some more drum work. We got my brother-in-law, Peter Habib, of the producing duo Mr. Fantastic. They put in some thumping drums, and we just kept kind of pinging the song around to all of these creators.
And then when it came time to do vocals, we had a bunch of different passes, and we were like, you know what, we really need the ladies on this. It would sound incredible if Ashley and Laura would sing on it.
Travis was the one that actually asked me if I would be down to sing it. And I, of course, was very, very nervous, but, you know, it was fun. And I only got a little awkward when I was in the booth, no big deal, because, like, Travis was sitting right there. And, like, I can look like an idiot in front of Sam, but for some reason I get really uncomfortable if, like, Travis is there, too.
We sent a feeler out to our fantastic friends over at Out Loud Audio. The amazing Mark Kondracki was kind enough to give us some studio time to let us record that, one of the bigger spaces. And I think Ronan was just born, so Laura was in there holding little baby Ronan while she was laying down those sick vocals on the song.
I don't even remember how old he was. I think he was only like, I want to say like 2 months old, maybe, when we were recording it. I think he was younger, and he started crying when we were recording it.
We only had the studio for like an hour, and it worked out that Laura had to feed her baby while she was singing the song.
What's weird is I think those were the takes that we ended up using for the song, because for some reason, like, focusing on that made it way more comfortable to actually do the singing.
I don't know if any suckling sounds made it onto the track. That will be cut. Anyway.
When we were recording it, Sam kept going, like, more rock and roll, go as over the top as you could think, because I guess I'm used to singing, like, nicer sounding, sweeter sounding, and Sam wanted it like I want grit. And any takes we did like that, those are the ones they used. It's fun.
And then when Ashley recorded, she came over to my house, actually, which is a much smaller booth, and she laid down her vocals late at night after she had been doing a video game job all day, I think. She must have been exhausted, but she didn't seem like it, because she just killed her side of the vocals as well. And I recorded her, and lickety-split, we were done.
Yeah, Sam, you know, when we were talking about the roles and the criticals, he was like, hey man, I pitched my voice down. You got a deep voice. Do you want to go in and do it? And I was like, no, I love it the way it is. He's like, no, come on, let's really go in there. So my contribution to the piece was actually going into the booth and bouncing as I did it, going, roll, critical, roll. And trying to sound as tough and determined as I could, even though I could see all of their laughing faces as I bounced up and down like a little baby.
I was going for like a little bit of a retro vibe for the lyrics. I knew that one of the motifs we were going to try to do was just sort of like, you know, the chance of it all, like taking a chance, you know, putting the fate in your own hands, like deciding your fate. Like that's a cool element of our game. And Critical Role is just like, you don't know what's going to happen, you don't know where the story's going to lead, so you just kind of have to go for it.
I think the thing that sticks out the most is the roll the dice part of it, because Vex was always one to take chances, but I don't know. Daggers and Cunning is pretty freaking cool that we took it there. Just that little change, that made me pretty happy.
I think the lyrics for Your Turn to Roll embody really sort of the spirit of our early home game, which is like a bunch of friends getting together, being nerdy as hell, rolling some dice, not really caring what comes out of your mouth or who's watching or what other people think of you. You know, you're going to take on brave, courageous personas, try and right wrongs or maybe cause wrongs, depending on what your character is, and just jumping into that adventure and letting yourself go. And when the time comes, roll the dice and see what happens. It's an adventuring party for a reason, right?
And welcome back, everyone. Well done. So, first and foremost, we have our winner of the giveaway. The winner of the Wormwood Monkeywood tabletop tiles from the Kickstarter is Sly Eladrin. Sly Eladrin, congratulations. It would be, yeah. From what court, though? So yes, or I should say what season. You go ahead and we'll get that sent out to you ASAP. Congratulations. Secondly, we found out during the break that somehow, I don't know why, I can't be surprised anymore. You guys pushed through the Kickstarter to the 8.8 million stretch goal during the first half of the game tonight. So here's some motherfucking cheers, guys.
Critters to you guys.
To this
100%.
This unfathomably incredible community of wonderful, supportive, positive, creative force for good that exists in this world. We are so thankful and grateful that we're even but a small nugget in the core of this, and you guys take this and carry that positivity in the world and have supported this and us to a degree that we could never, ever have ever expected, and we'll continue to do our best to pay that forward in all ways we can. This show is going to be incredible, and we're making it so incredible for you guys. So thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you.
L'chaim. Has there ever been a bigger passion project?
No.
No.
Nope.
Oh man.
Oh my god.
Champagne.
Did you get a good rip?
In my lungs.
Thank you.
Holy shit. Thank you guys.
Thank you, guys.
Eyes.
That looks good. It's gonna look so creepy.
I know.
Does the rest of the world know that that's a thing, or is it just us?
You gotta make eye contact when you cheers.
Cheers. It's a thing.
Yeah, it's a thing. It is now.
You know we do.
Critical Role land.
Champagne's weird.
Oh my god, it's so good.
Sure is.
So.
Yeah.
You know.
Oh, wow.
Yes.
Oh my god,
Gone.
back in the game. Head back in the game.
Jesus.
Making
Okay.
cartoons, you got it.
Holy luck.
I know.
Okay.
Oh my god, though. Like, what?
And all that's left. I mean, everything to this point just goes towards making the animation better.
Yay.
The animation team, the developer, the people that are making this project.
Yep.
Yeah, this is gonna be good.
It's gonna be great. Yeah.
Oh God. All right, so back in. So, having been led out of the Shadowshire, you are brought through the area known as the Firmaments. It is a district similarly beautiful to the area around the Lucid Bastion. Less religious-based architecture. The geometry that was inherent around elements of the Lucid Bastion and the surrounding buildings of worship seems to continue on somewhat into the Firmaments, but here there seems to be a lot more locations for restful reading. You can see small, lightless gardens with elements of grass that seems to not require daylight to subsist. And these beautiful little nooks where you can see people of the drow populace sitting and reading and paying strange attention to you. Once again, it's hard not to draw attention when you guys pass by with one of the members of Den Thalis. But as you're brought through, you can see these beautiful sculptures, these kind of spire-like pointed towers that curve towards the top. You don't know if they're just art pieces or if there's a specific intent to their construction, but there's one every 2 blocks or so throughout this district. At one point, the Shadow Hand stops and points to the left to this beautiful series of structures with two towers, not terribly tall. You're used to seeing elements of the Soltris Academy, which definitely, oh god, that's right, we're there now.
That thing is bigger than my wife.
It's filled with yummy water.
I want to be this. Is it? Oh god. Oh my god.
You can put messages on the bottom of that now.
Kid.
You can actually add, like, you have more space.
There's entire ice cubes in here.
Oh man.
Wow.
That's terrifying. And the water spilled kind of give me a William Wallace thing going on, so I'll take that.
Oh, yeah,
Can take out lives.
Strong water.
So, the shadow hand points off to the structure. You can see the two the towers that kind of bookend the two sides of it, but it's a series of adjoining hallways that are somewhat rounded on the top. It's almost like a cylindrical shape, but the hall itself meets to the bottom, and they are adjoining to all. It looks like a really elaborate college campus type of a series of connecting halls and central buildings that are domed.
Hacky sack.
Yeah, it's rush out there right now. They're
putting up flyers for their acapella audition.
God damn it! I was waiting my turn and you jumped on it.
But you can see through a lot of the beautiful tall glass windows that also come to the rounded tops, a glow from the inside, a warm kind of yellow and orange flicker. The shadow hand points and goes, well, if you remember one of the things that was spoken of, the Marble Tomes Conservatory, that would be where you would find the professor, should you be interested in looking for one avenue of income or questioning.
Ooh, appreciate it.
Of course. And this way. And pressing on through the firmaments, you come to the next wall, the next large 15-foot barrier that stands between each of these various sects. It's an outward kind of onion layer type layout, from best you can tell. More circular towards the center and a little more oblong and strange shape as it progresses outward and the districts get wider and wider. As you come towards the base of the hill, looking out, you get a better view. There's what you now figures the Gallimaufry, which is the one you're going into. There's one beyond that, which looks a little more clustered. You see like a series of buildings that look built upon each other in a way that has not a lot of rhyme and reason to it. However, being to Asarius and you having your experience with Goblin villages, you do see elements here where it looks like there are clusters of neighborhoods that include a lot of the non-drow folk that seem to have been brought into the dynasty as well. Nowhere near as numerous as Asarius, but you see elements that lead you to believe kind of the further out you go, the more kind of diverse peoples you'll find mixing in with the township.
Does it seem from just the general presentation of those areas that those are like of a lesser quality of life?
You're not close enough to see.
Okay.
You're just seeing the cusp. I mean, this is still a ways out.
Okay.
But because you're coming down the end of this gradual grade of the large hill that the center of the city is built upon, you can just make out those aspects to catch your eye.
Okay.
Beyond that, it's dark. Like the lanterns just stop. And you can see, now that you're getting low and a little bit of the kind of elements of whether it be fake or not, you do not see a moon in the sky, but there is a slight rim of almost like false moonlight that is projected upon elements of the distant stone shapes. And you can see on the horizon in that dark space, jagged shapes, whether it be broken ruins or abandoned constructs you cannot see, but they appear to be large and definitely devoid of light.
Okay.
Nevertheless, you pass through that barrier wall, through a arched door, but this one comes to more of a point, a zenith point towards the top. Walking through into the Gallimaufry as it's introduced to you by the Shadow Hand. Already you can hear music, but strange mixing elements, like Third Street Promenade, where you just have like 4 or 5 styles all hitting at once in that central thoroughfare, and it becomes a jumble. You can hear drum beats, but beats that conflict from different edges that end up making this weird, unhappy mixture. You can hear some reed instruments, though they're kind of off. And as you know, goblins tend to prefer percussion and very loud, discordant reeds, and there's definitely elements of that there.
Drum and bass.
Busker life.
EDM.
Goblin's more of a drum and bass thing.
Yeah.
Drow's more EDM, I think.
Totally.
Trance.
Especially here.
As you step into the new district, the familiar drow buildings and architecture continue, but you begin to see more classic structures, more of the familiar inn buildings, the more familiar classic, almost imperial design, but almost a makeshift variation of it, whether it be a different type of materials that were made to build it, or it was just a standard cultural design outside of what the drow brought to what is now Rosohna. You continue forward, and still a mostly drow populace, but you begin to see the errant bugbear coming in pairs or groups. You can see carts being wheeled to the streets. Commerce comes into play here. Previously, you had not really seen much sign of any sort of shops or buildings when it came to the firmament or near the bastion, but here you begin to see what is a bustling center of society and civilization here in the capital. There are all sorts of strange smells, very, very pungent fish and seafood type scents, which is unique. You don't know there's a sea nearby, but apparently there is a seafood source. You can smell cooked meats and things like steamed vegetables, but the smell itself has more of a rancid pungence to it. You would recognize elements of it. A lot of these are subterranean root-based vegetables that tubers and things like that in this region, when steamed and baked, give off a little more of a unique smell. It's not pleasant to you, most of you at least, but it is food, and you're finding yourselves a little hungry.
I like it, yeah.
You do see strings of these green lanterns kind of strung from edge to edge. The light, they're smaller, and the light is not quite as intense. They're more there for decor. But there's a generally more jovial and celebratory feel to this than the very stoic and, in some ways, like faith-based streets you've walked since you left the Bastion. Following the Shadow Hand as he beelines you around the corner, you see a large 3-story structure made of that similar kind of purplish, in some ways brown, depending on how the light hits it, wood that you saw the outskirts of Asarius's main walls constructed from. Whatever wood seems to be used in this area is predominantly this color. And you see it in a lot of the buildings and constructs that start to go into wood frames around the stonework and everything. Purple is a very, like purple and a deep maroon seems to be a color that comes up often here in the use of wood. Approaching, you see a sign that hangs from the outside. It has 3 different titles in it. Any of you speak Undercommon?
No.
So you do not recognize one element. There is a common phrasing beneath it, though, that says the Dim's Inn. And you recognize this as your destination.
What's the third language?
The third language would be Abyssal.
Yasha speaks Abyssal. Abyssal?
Abyssal, yeah.
Abyssal.
Yasha glanced up and goes, "Oh, yeah, it says the Dim's Inn."
We found the Rosetta Stone.
This is the one. This is the one, guys. From the outside, you could already hear the loud chatter, and as you enter, it's not a large entrance by any means. You could see it's separated in the clerk's desk on the side that is well made and well polished. And actually, of all the wood you've seen, this is probably wood that's been imported or brought elsewhere, because this is a standard like dark mahogany versus the rest of the interior, like material that contains that maroon color towards it. You see maybe 7 tables, of which half of them are currently in use. There are all manner of worker drow that seem to be in standard everyday clothing, as opposed to the armored and regal figures that you seem to have been interacting with primarily since you came here. As well as one very, very, very drunk ogre sitting at a table playing cards with what looks to be 2 other drow who are getting predominantly more and more frustrated with him as he's just loud and boisterous and slamming the table and dropping cards and picking them up. But apparently they're making a lot of money off of him because they're not causing much of a stir, and you see them just taking hand after hand. Over by the clerk's counter, you see what looks to be a very well-groomed male dark elf. Has a kind of pencil white mustache. Goes across the very kind of like a essence of John Waters.
Proud
but
John Waters. Like it.
His eyes, his irises are a very, very light, like a yellow-orange color around the pupil. And his short white hair is slicked, kind of, not quite a comb over, but like it's parted on one side and brought over.
It's just John Waters, please.
Kind of.
Thank you.
Kind of.
That's all I want.
I'm just writing down Drow John
Drow
Waters.
Waters.
Drow Waters.
Drow Waters, there you go. Looking in your direction as you enter.
I'm gonna do my subversive hood side, by the way.
Okay.
Well, like, yeah.
Okay.
Well, I would have done it kind of walking through.
Well, as you enter, he's in the process of reading through and like double checking two of his ledgers and glances over. And sees the Shadowhand and goes, "Oh well, this is a surprise. What draws the Shadowhands to our very humble place of business?" And the Shadowhand goes, "Yes, we have friends of the Bright Queen who are staying, and you guys show off your emblems.
Mm-hmm.
They are to stay for the time being at the Dynasty's dime."
Shit.
Business expense.
For the time being. Until they decide what their intent is, based on the Queen's last request. So, take care of them, and should you need anything, we'll know. And he turns and leaves.
He's leaving?
He turns to leave, yeah.
Excuse me,
Stops.
Essek. I know that we trust that you won't, that we're not being watched at all times, but is an eye being kept out for our general movements or actions? Or do we?
What do you think?
A little bit?
Maybe.
Okay. Great. Just wanted to know.
Of course.
Could I ask, is there anywhere we are not allowed to go?
I would recommend not going into the Ghostlands. That would end poorly.
Well, right there. Normally, I have an aversion to something named like that, but good point.
Yes, that's beyond the walls of the Corona district. It's the outside of the city.
Is that the dark stuff?
Yeah, there's no light there initially. That's where so many of the scars of the calamity still remain.
Whoa!
The city expands best as we can, or at least as best as they can. I have no interest in the expansion, but as more people come to our city, there needs to be room, and there's nowhere else to go but out. So, brave folks looking for homes who fight against the darkness to find their homesteads.
And
such will is commendable.
Excuse me. What is the best way to reach you if we feel we need to?
Well, you've been speaking with your friend with certain means. I think perhaps you have such ways of talking to me should you require my aid.
I can send you a message anytime you want.
Good. I look forward to it. Rest well. And he just kind of turns and exits.
Floats away.
You can make a perception check.
The cloak.
14 feet.
7 kobolds.
He's got a hoverboard.
10.
He just leans.
14.
14?
Yep.
14. Yeah, he's not hiding it. You can see his footfalls. He's not floating through the city, but he walks with such, like, a grace and a very direct gait that there is no bobbing. He just seems to
Tomb
go
of the
on.
Unknown Soldier glide, man. They just...
Yeah, straight up.
Bossy.
What's it called? It's a what's it called?
Rocky
Oh, he's on a Segway.
He's on a Segway.
Yeah.
That's why he keeps the cloak around it.
It's just right.
Well, I'll leave you now.
Hagman. Enchantments get weird when money's involved.
Can I just say, walking through the city to get here, what a fucking great DM we have.
No,
I mean, come on. Amazing.
Your character was the next to die.
Yeah. So, Yeza still holding your hand, and kind of looks over towards you. Can I get somewhere to eat?
Food and how many rooms?
Well, we have some shirts in the bag of holding if we wanted to, keep up the debt. No,
let's get a proper meal. And how many rooms did we get, out of curiosity?
Well, how many do you need, actually, is my question for you. What are your names? I need to put something down. A name, something.
I'm Ford.
Ford, all right, the party of Ford.
Yep.
I will be ensuring payments come and are noted as such. All right, how many rooms do you require?
3 would be
Four. Oh, four.
4 rooms,
Correct.
very well.
Definitely need like one with like a heart-shaped bed and stuff.
Like a corner suite.
There's going to be lots of stuff happening.
Your walls
in
are
there,
made of
probably.
concrete.
Delightful. Food?
Probably. Oh wait. Would you want to take a bath though?
Some extra sheets. Extra bottles of water.
You always need more towels.
Bucket of ice. Some ibuprofen.
Wonderful. Well, I will be happy to do this. The deal did not mention covering meals, so those you'd have to pay for, unfortunately.
Like a cruise?
Boy, I would hate to hear the Bright Queen was upset to hear that her special guests were not treated to every luxury you have.
I believe their words.
Make a persuasion check.
I'm good at those.
Hold on. Ford, I believe the words she used was heroes of the dynasty.
You heard it. 23.
We could comp you
Scratch my cheek with
a
that
simple
silver
meal and
medallion.
maybe a bottle of wine. Wonderful. 4 rooms.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I will arrange that for you now. Passes out keys to you guys. Meals are provided. A fine meal of very unique meat. It looks tough, but it like a very, very well cooked venison. It kind of just falls apart in the mouth.
Side salad.
There you go.
Everybody's side salad.
Excellent iceberg.
Another interesting thing of note: in this tavern, if you request with the food that's given to you and based on your persuasion check, you notice the meals that are being passed around to folks here are generally kind of bland, both in color and texture. The meals you get are very nice, and for all the vegetation and the quality of produce that you've come across since arriving in Jorhas, there are actual, like, fine vegetables. Carrots, lettuce, cauliflower, like all these things that you have not seen since you came here that are well kept and fresh.
Interesting.
Lettuce, cauliflower.
But your meals are presented. Yeza scarfs himself to the near point of getting sick, but seems to be making up for quite some time without a fine meal.
Anyone paying attention to us?
Are you beating me to
Everyone in the room is paying attention to you guys.
Anyone-
Like, they're all talking amongst themselves, but every time you glance around to look, there's always some people kind of avert their gaze and go back to their conversation, trying to play it off like they weren't paying attention. But you're definitely not the usuals here in the Dims Inn.
Yeah, out of curiosity, on that entire walk, I'm sure, well, I'm not going to say sure, but we probably didn't see any humans. Did we see a tiefling, a half-orc?
You did see, nowhere near as numerous. You crossed a few orcs and half-orcs. You saw in here in the Galmafri. You managed to see maybe 3 tieflings at a distance, all red-skinned, and they seem to be just part of the general populace. Humans, you haven't come across one yet.
Okay.
But if you recall from Yasha saying where she came from and about her upbringing, most of them didn't have interest going this far north in Jorhas. But so far, you have not seen any.
Cool.
So you definitely strike a unique. As a troop, you're colorful, and as a troop with two humans and 3 human-looking figures, definitely catching some attention.
Is anyone noteworthy looking? Anyone it's not the average worker type?
Anyone aiming a crossbow at us?
Everybody I could punch out.
The drunk ogre that's in the middle of the card game is being less boisterous and like looking at his cards and then kind of glancing up and kind of. But like the whole room is paying attention to you guys. You feel like that kind of crawling of warmth at the back of your neck of unwanting to be the center of attention, but no way to escape it. But nevertheless, your meal is fine, and that doesn't go unnoticed either from the rest of the patrons. This scale of dinner you've been provided and are enjoying, definitely there is a disparate difference.
Can I get up and head over to the barkeep real quick and just say, hey, quick question. They mentioned a ghost lands in the Corona
One of the
district.
barkeep, or are you going to the tavern owner?
The tavern. No, the barkeep.
Okay. The barkeep you go up to, you can see this is another drow. This one's older, a little portlier, has a heavy scar that goes from like the ear to the side of the mouth. And it looks a little more rough and tumble than some of the more noble figures that you've been rubbing shoulders with since you came. He glances up to you. You can see his kind of receding widow's peak, and hair that kind of is tucked past the ears that falls just past the shoulders. The chin is like a heavy kind of cleft in the middle there. Looks up to you. Right, can I help you?
Yeah, nice place you have here. Thank you for taking care of us while we're here. We heard of a place called the Ghostlands out by the Corona district. We're new, obviously.
Gathered as much. The Ghostlands that is beyond the city. Why do you want?
Just want to make sure it's real far away.
I mean, it's maybe an hour and a half walk, but
that sounds great. People head out there often. The brave looking for places to settle down. We heard.
Oh, they're stupid. Yeah,
they're stupid.
Look, the laws as they are, if you don't have land here, you can take it.
Out there.
If you want to set up a home and you want to essentially squat and it becomes yours. The downside, you live in the Ghostlands.
Right.
They've only extended the outer wall once. That was 80 years ago.
A lot of people coming back from the Ghostlands?
Most of them. Meaning, those who return, most of them have come back.
Right. Great. That was all. Thank you. We are not going out by the Corona district unless we absolutely have to. He said everybody goes out there dies.
Okay.
I mean, it's called the Ghostlands.
Yeah.
I don't want to be ghosts.
Yeah, I didn't want to go out there
They
anyway.
said
Paul.
not to go there.
Why would we want to go out there?
I just figured everybody's natural curiosity was piqued.
No,
not really. Yeah.
On that note, maybe we should mull over this evening what it is we want to do and perhaps retire all of us to one of our rooms just to discuss some things.
Yes.
Instead of improvising, which we're good at, but doesn't always lead to the best results. Not always.
Everybody get enough to eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to shove a bunch of stuff in my bag.
Even though it's night
Do you guys have
time
dessert?
out.
He's in this to the tavern owner.
Uh-huh.
There is dessert if that's what you would like. What kind of dessert would you like?
What do you have?
We have puddings. We have pastries. We have fruits.
Oh,
What's local?
What's local?
Yeah.
specialty.
Also the pastries, though, as well.
All right. Pastries can be done. Local specialty. I'll be right back. He leaves for a bit.
Always want to eat local.
Comes back with three small bowls on little platters. Sets them down with a series of spoons kind of tucked against them, and each of them it looks to be almost like a parfait. But the fruit is a very like watery, almost like a my brain
Lychee. Lychee.
like I was going to say like what's the name of the fruit that always comes in fruit bowls that nobody eats because it's the worst?
Durian?
No, the other lope. The
Melon? No.
yeah,
Honeydew?
Honeydew.
Green
Thank you.
honeydew.
No, apologies, those who love honeydew. drives me nuts.
Well, in a shitty fruit bowl, it sucks. But if you cut open a honeydew, right there, it's delicious.
Right, and that's fine. But
80% honeydew, maybe some pineapple.
It is like the packing peanuts of fruit, though.
Yeah. So anyway, it looks like honeydew. It's a very watery melon-like substance that's on the edges of it. You can see the light comes through. It looks very soft, and beneath that there is a kind of a cream pudding type, but it's a dull, almost like a tan coloration to it. It does not look appetizing compared to like the glorious, colorful sweets and treats that you're used to. The Menagerie Coast is largely known for its decadent desserts, and this is a little disappointing to be the local special.
It's weird and bland. I'm into it. I'm going to take a bite.
Okay. It's surprisingly tasty. It's not doesn't blow your mind by any means, but it is sweet. It has some unique textures. The melon tends to kind of like almost burst in your mouth, similar to like a like those little mochi balls, whatever it is. Or
I love those.
I
know the ones you're talking about.
Yeah, like a gusher.
What food would blow Caduceus's mind?
The Impossible Burger.
Sorry. It's not bad.
This is interesting.
Where's like the whipped cream and stuff though for it and stuff?
He's already walked away. He literally dropped it and left. He's like, "That's good. Here you go. Bye."
And he walks.
He brought a plate of pastries out too, right?
He comes back with pastries thereafter. They look like standard pastries.
Sweet, I put them all on my bag.
Okay. You load up on Drohassian pastries.
Yeah, then I'll eat the fruit ball thingy.
Okay.
Carb loading.
Yeza grabs one off the thing and he was like, you can see he's like full to the point of being sick, and he's like, oh, I may have had too much.
Don't fill yourself up too much.
He grabs one anyway.
You have a lot of boning ahead of you.
What?
No, he's fine. Just let him recuperate. It's all right. We may not get to that tonight.
He puts it in his
If
pocket.
you need to use our room, the facilities later, you just come knock and we'll let you in.
Okay.
We're cool. We poop in front of each other.
Oh, okay.
Now that he's finished eating, like you can see Yeza now starting to look around the vicinity and see the eyes upon him, because you've rarely seen humans in Drohas. You've definitely not seen any halflings.
Oh, right.
And Yeza's now like looking over the table at the people around. Veth, there's a lot of people looking at me.
Yeah, welcome to my world. It takes some getting used to being the odd person out at a place like this, but just look at me. Well, no. Just look at your food and think about good things and don't worry about them. We're stronger than them. These friends around us can defend us from anything.
What can you guys do?
They have all sorts of
I used thaumaturgy to open all the windows.
All the windows slam open. Wind kind of flushes through. Some of the lit lanterns kind of flicker to and die out. And everyone in the room goes like,
Yeah!
Yes. I'm going to close them all.
They all close rapidly. The lanterns kind of, one of them glows back up more, the other one's just completely out.
Come on. There we go.
And then everyone, there's this awkward pause afterward, and they're all looking at Jester and then looking at Caduceus, and they
Sorry.
all like go back and like turn their backs to the table and pretend like nothing happened.
Heroes of the Empire. Heroes.
Okay, let's not.
We're not heroes of the Empire. We're heroes of the Dynasty. Don't want to be heroes of the Empire.
Yeah. Both. It's both.
Well, they're pretty strong. They'll take care of us. They've taken care of me this whole time.
Okay.
What Veth says is true, but you would be surprised at what your wife can do now.
Well, she's always surprised me with what she can do, but
It's been a long road to get here, and I've learned a couple tricks from my friends. And
she's a very good assistant.
Assistant.
Yeah, no, he's right. He's right.
She's quick.
She picks things up very fast.
She has. That is true. Sorry.
Yeah.
Well.
Perhaps we should retire upstairs when we can speak a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'll step back from the table and walk like I know where the stairs are.
Takes you a moment, but you eventually find the stairs.
Yep, not
only half loop. It wasn't too embarrassing. Yep. You guys followed suit?
Yeah, we're all going.
How are you?
Yeah.
That they get to their room okay, you know, because the half.
Oh, are we all going to go to the same room, or are we
All
gonna...
in the same room.
All
For
the same room for now.
Okay. You all make your way. Yasha kind of forming the rear. As you set up, Yasha kind of turns to the rest of the room, and you watch this kind of dark shadow begin to kind of build off of her shoulders, and she just kind of goes, and you see as one of the nearby drow goes, and just turns around and follows you back up the steps. You find your rooms as they were described to you. There are 4 of them, but there's a space. There's 3, and then there's another room, and then the 4th final one as requested, the corner room. So yes, you can enter one of those rooms easy enough, and it's a little cramped. It isn't a lot of space for 8 people, though 2 smaller of the group. But you have a room. The door's closed. It's decently furnished for a standard inn. It's better than what you're used to in Felderwin, of course, but it's not. It's this establishment isn't quite top end. In Zadash, it's no pillow trove, if you will, but it's nice. It's not too bad.
Caduceus, you are the tallest of the group. Do you maybe you would, because we have an extra room, maybe you'd take one for yourself?
I can do that.
I thought that they were going to take the room.
There's
for
4
them.
rooms, so
Yeah, I thought-
1, 2, 3, 4.
And Yasha.
I share with Yasha since we're both tall. Or, yeah.
I'm okay with that. We can
Yeah,
share
it works fine for me.
Okay, do we want to drop our shit and meet in your guys' room in like 5?
That'll do.
Team meeting in 5.
Okay.
So give you
All
guys
right.
enough time.
Jess, we can wait. We can wait a few more minutes.
You need a few more minutes? 10 minutes?
No, 5's fine. We're
Okay.
fine. Don't worry.
Wow, that is efficient.
I mean, it's really up to Yeza. It's not fully your decision yet. I mean, it's both of your decision. It's not.
It's been a long time, though.
I'm gonna go pick a room and start this process.
Mr. Caleb, I hate to be suspicious of our new situation. I'm not inclined to be, but if I were to want to keep tabs on people, this is how I do it. And I'm showing him the badge. Mm-hmm. I don't know if we have a way of
Putting all of those badges in a box?
for the moment.
Or a bag.
Or a box. We have a box.
You had a box.
Oh, the box went with the
box went with the device that you found.
Oh, I liked that lead box.
Putting them in the bag for any sense
Yeah,
of
sure,
conversation
sure,
for now.
sure.
We went to so much trouble to get that box.
It was a nice box.
We'll get a new box.
Just
find it.
seems
You
pretty.
can test the room for us.
Plop them all in the bag.
Okay.
Yeah, we run out of the room.
I open all the doors, look at them all, compare which one has like the best sheets and the most pillows. Does one have a rug?
Make an investigation
Which one looks
check.
like the best?
Oh, yes, investigation.
Is there like a newer mattress?
As you're going up and like
One of them.
testing the springiness and the thread count of the sheets and
Right. 16.
Emptying
16.
the bar.
There are definitely 2 rooms that have the higher quality bed sheets. One of them is springier. It seems like it's a newer design. That'd be the 3rd one over. That one is definitely
I take that one.
That's the
All right.
one. We go with that one.
All right.
So this one's just ours and Bo's. To the rest
There
of
you go. Like, locked it in. It's my favorite use of an investigation check to date.
Thread count. Detect thread count.
Yep.
Detect thread count.
3rd level's locked. All right, so you guys go ahead and you correspond to which rooms are yours, and then eventually reconvene in one of the rooms to meet.
In the love suite.
Did we also lose the tripod?
No,
The stand?
that's in my bag still.
Tripod's still in there.
Just checking.
Well,
Let's meet in Caleb and Ford's room.
Okay.
sure.
Are they all the identical size, all 4?
Slightly different variations.
Yeah, they're all
We'll meet in
comparable. The
whatever
corner
the
one's a little
biggest
larger, but only because it doesn't have to compete for space with
A couple might
adjacent.
have gotten a suite.
Yeah, they did. I just don't want to, barge in on them when they might want some privacy.
Okay,
All right,
they're going to
let's,
have their time. Listen, so maybe we should discuss what we want to do. About what time is it supposed to be, even though it doesn't look like it outside?
Oh, well, it's
By this time, it's late afternoon.
late afternoon.
Excellent. So maybe we get a nice long rest and start out tomorrow, but I'm sure there are things that people want to explore, right?
I'd like to do a little shopping.
Let's toss them out. You said a blacksmith earlier, right?
Yeah. Keep hoping to deal with this.
I'll join you with that. I'm sure you want to find the firmament.
Yeah, I'd like to go to that library or the marble tomes. The marble tomes.
We can find another diamond. Find some healing
We're
potions.
supposed to visit Professor Wacko.
I would like that to
At the marble tomes. I suggest we spend a decent amount of time here.
Yeah, the money is also at the marble tomes, right? The professor? Okay.
Yeah.
We do need another diamond also. We do need some healing potions. And we need to figure out what's to be done with our new companion.
Also, apparently Dyron is supposed to be here.
Here? Oh my god.
Wait a minute, but Caleb, you said you could send us to Nicodranus if we want to, yeah?
I'm close. I need to do a bit of homework. Not much. I also need some paper.
More paper.
Oh no.
We'll see what we can
I
do
need
about
to work
that.
things
Always
out,
need some
but I always need more paper.
Hey, did
and
we
I-
divvy up our cash that we got from
Oh, no, we
Lady
didn't.
Olios?
2,000 gold split 7 ways.
Yeah.
2,000
He just goes, wait, how much money?
Oh, things are different now, babe. We
risk our lives for ridiculous sums of gold. Also, we're pirates.
285 for everybody. There you go.
His eyes just go wide, like.
Yeah, these guys have gotten me into a new line of work. Chemistry's good, baby, but killing's better.
The killing is better.
Killing?
Only when it's a defense thing. We've only in self-defense.
That's patently untrue.
You are being facetious. Adventure. You mean, yes, there has been violence on the road. We've been attacked multiple times.
We are mass murderers.
Yeah, it's kind of true.
That's not true.
We're pirates, though. We are pirates.
So you're mercenaries?
Yes.
That's true.
Yes.
Sometimes.
That's actually pretty neat. Yeah. Wow, my wife's a mercenary.
Yeah.
What have you killed?
Oh, what was that big thing with the baby?
Manticore.
Manticore?
You killed Manticore?
Yeah, not Veth. Killed a manticore.
Yeah, and there were some other things too. Some gnolls.
Yeah, lots of gnolls.
Regular
Yeah,
ones.
the gnolls are a problem out there, yeah. We've had them become issues in the outskirts of Elderwin.
A giant clockwork mechanized killing machine.
We got attacked by a giant blue dragon.
What was that crazy demon thing we just fought in the last...
I don't even know what that was, but
Yeah,
definitely
could've been anything.
succubuses and stuff.
Don't we have some of the organs?
Oh, we have a heart.
No, they all kind of turned to sludge.
Except for the heart.
Except for the heart.
It's in the bag.
Why should show him the heart?
Yeah.
What is going on?
Can you science that?
Yeah, do you know what that came from?
And he goes forward and kind of looks, well, it looks like the outskirts of it are heavily cauterized. There's definitely no blood flow from the standpoint there. I can't even surmise the sludgy texture. I don't even know what. Wow, this is. You.
It started as like a hobby, but then it just got more intense, and now,
The farthest I've been is Zadash. I can't wait. I want to hear about every other places you've been.
Oh, you guys have so much catching up to do. It's so cute.
Yeah. Hey, we've been through a lot. I didn't think I would ever see you again alive. I sort of want to... I know this is sappy or whatever, and maybe you won't want to do it, but... I sort of want to commemorate this somehow.
With a bone.
No, I was thinking with a tattoo.
I could do that.
Oh my
What?
What do you want? What do you want?
What?
Well, I was thinking you and I could get tattoos.
Oh, yes, I do want to do that for you.
Jester, I don't think anybody
Make a persuasion check.
Oh, I'm so excited.
Well, I don't know what level I am now.
Well, he hasn't leveled yet, but
So it's 13 minus 3, so that's 10.
10. All right, that's passable for the situation. He goes, okay.
Oh wait, persuasion is 0, so that's just 13. Okay.
Okay, yeah. Where?
Where?
Well,
On your ring fingers?
Sure. Yes, and maybe on him you could do. He can help you, but the molecular structure of sugar.
The what?
And I could have the molecular structure of salt.
Oh, that's really
That's
sweet.
actually very sweet.
Seems advanced.
That's a lot of detail in a small space.
He knows all this
Okay,
stuff.
it's a finger though, so I just want you to
Okay,
know.
well then how about just a
Sometimes-
heart? How about just a heart?
Okay, I could probably do
That's
that.
probably easier. Also, with your skill level,
Yeah, I don't
maybe
know.
just a circle.
It might just
how about
just
just,
like-
how about just a ring?
It might
just
just
a
be a
ring.
blob on
Yeah, how about
your
just a
ring.
ring, like a ring? Yeah, we'll do a ring. That's fine. It's way easier.
Seafaring DNA.
How about rings?
Okay.
Rings.
Although anything on your finger is kind of hard. I'm just putting that out there.
Okay, how about just a dot? Like a big dot.
I like it. I'm going to try to make the dot look like a heart, though.
Great.
Okay.
If it works out, great.
We'll see what happens.
If not,
it might just be a blob.
I'm not gonna have this body for long anyway, right?
When you get the new one, I'll do a better
Sure,
one.
sure.
Okay, this will be practice round.
Okay.
For one.
I'll do you first, so I practice because
Practice
his
on
is more
me,
permanent.
for sure.
Okay.
Go ahead and roll a dexterity check.
Oh, my first roll was a 9.
Yeah.
Oh, that was supposed to be good. Dexterity check. 7.
7. Okay. At the right angle, it looks heart-like. Otherwise, it looks more like a bean.
A bean,
Just
a
a little
happy bean. On your bean.
It's a finger bean.
It's something to remember.
Finger bean.
Can you just try a little harder on
I feel
him?
like that's what yours looks like. It's so cute.
Okay, so if I do this, sort of.
Yeah.
Kind of at the right angle.
Okay. But now I get advantage because I've practiced one time.
Sure.
Yay!
Wow.
Double.
10. 10.
10. Okay. It is a heart. It is a heart.
Love lives. Holy shit. That's accurate.
Hey.
All right, so tomorrow we rest tonight. Visit the marble tomes. We'll find a blacksmith. We'll also find some paper, maybe a jeweler for a diamond, anything like that.
What do I do with my husband?
Yeah, I feel like we are talking about specifics on a micro level, but let's talk macro for a moment. What are we doing?
Are we allying with the dynasty?
For the moment, we're moving with the
Are
circumstances.
you okay with that bow?
I think I could make it work to my advantage. Yeah. It just depends on our long game.
Yeah, for the moment we are staying alive. But what do we want to do together, I think, is what we need to figure out after this day.
You know, we ran from this war for a really long time, and now we're right in the middle of it. I don't know how much longer we can avoid this.
Yeah, but what are we going to do with it? I mean, what, do we think we're really going to, like, help something or end it? Or are we going to make it worse? Are we going to get everyone in the Empire killed? What if we do stuff for the Bright Queen and then, because she likes us so much, we can talk her into not really trying to kill everyone?
Leave every place better than you found it.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's really the only direction I have at the moment.
We can't do any of
That
that
one.
until we have trust.
Stay alive and listen and something else.
But we won't be able to leave this place better than we found it unless we have some sort of prominence or power or position or trust anyway with her.
We have the beginnings of that.
We have to continue to serve each other above all else, and serve life above all else, and I think everything else will work out. The situation that anybody finds themselves in is just that. We're in a place, there's a power structure, we're going to adapt to it, but as long as we stay true to each other, I think everything's going to be fine.
I would like to propose something as a goal. I think we should stop a war. And I think we will do that by cutting the cancer out of our homeland. These are not different things. What you and your mentor are talking about, what I am talking about.
No, they're not. I hear you. I'm just a little bit concerned on your personal motives, which you're still very enigmatic about. How much do you care and how much are you using us, Caleb?
We're telling you a lot, yes. This is a lot, all at once. The people that you were working for, some of their associates, if not all of them, are... their souls are black as pitch. The Cerberus Assembly.
Yeah, they're a fine piece of work.
Yeah.
At least with the little interaction I've had with them, but...
What Beauregard is referring to is my connection to the Cerberus Assembly a long time ago.
Is this what you've been walking towards? Is this the destiny that you've been looking for?
I don't know about destiny.
Well, is it what you're for, I suppose, is what I'm asking.
Maybe.
I believe that we are walking a very specific path right now. And I think that we're all here for a reason. I think that we're going to find servants of death on both sides of this, if this is the path we're choosing to walk, and I think it'll be our job to hold as much of that accountable as possible, if this is what we're choosing to do.
What are you doing? What?
Yes, I was trained to be a terrible person. Yes, I was a student of the Cerberus Assembly. Yes, I murdered those most dear to me. Yes. And yes, I want to see specific people dead. And if that lines up with something that can save where you and I are from, where Veth and Yeza are from, where our friends live.
Kiri.
Pumat.
My dad, maybe.
Your mom.
Then all is one.
It's not you seeking retribution that concerns me. What do you want to do with this dunamancy shit? Your interest in time bending.
Time bending?
Isn't that what this is all leading towards?
Never said anything to you about time bending.
You're interested in the study of time. It's what you were looking at in the library.
Never said any such thing to you.
Are you?
You told me that in the library. Just a little. You still have that vial, right? From Yeza?
Yes.
Wait, what?
Oh. We got some stuff from the house. We have the tripod-y thing?
Oh, yeah, they placed the box on it.
Was it special in any way?
I don't know. That belonged to the lady.
We have it.
Yeah.
We also have a vial. Was it full?
Yeah, it had a bunch of like liquidy gray stuff in it.
I think that's probably the one that we completed.
They didn't take it with them?
I was supposed to use and continue to study it there and see if I can replicate the process. That was part of my job when I was left there alone, was to try and find a way to streamline it.
Giving me a thought.
That's the one.
What's it do?
I don't know. I wasn't my job to study the specifics of it. I just had to find a way to take its properties and of the ethereal energy and distill it into an imbibable fluid. But
reproduce it.
You could do it again if you needed to.
With the right materials and with one of those box things. Yeah.
Yeah.
What was the chair?
You don't want to know about the chair.
Yeah. I'm sorry. I just hold him.
You see this like chair scar mark on the side of his nose. You're not all talking about going to war with the Empire, are you?
No.
No.
We're talking about being strategic and specific in our alliances.
Like I know times are rough there, and I know that some Townsguard are assholes, and I don't know what decisions are made by the hoity-toity folks up north, the capital, but like, there's good people there, like good, honest people doing good, honest work, and the Empire protects them. I just say be careful. What I saw that night, what little bit that I saw when they attacked Felderwin, that was awful. I'm just having a hard time understanding that we're trusting these
monsters.
Yes.
No, you're not wrong, Yeza. I think some of us, and I admire this, have a great appetite for resolution. I'm with you. I don't know who to trust. And as admirable as that notion is, I can't even begin to wrap my mind around stopping a war. I mean, that's just 7 of us. Talking about nations. No, we're not trusting anyone yet.
And some monsters you can trust.
I'm just a country boy with a knack for books and mixing things. I don't know what you've been through. I'm sorry to speak out of turn. I know you've traveled and done a lot of things from what you say. Just don't lose sight of the simple folk either.
All voices are welcome here.
They tend to get steamrolled in situations like this.
Well, maybe Ford is right. Talking on a macro scale is good, but what are the next, medium steps?
Well,
talk small, talk big.
We could try taking this wacko job or whatever and see what kind of people we would be working for,
We bolster the trust of these people we are with right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Learn more, and then we'll be able to, like you said before, Bo, we need to know more before we can really make any long-term plans.
That's true.
Also, there's Traveler Con coming up, and I just don't know where it's going to fall in like this whole war situation.
It's a month away?
How far off is that?
Like a month, 2 months.
Did you get your badge yet?
I haven't even found it where it's at. He hasn't told me, and I'm getting a little worried about it, honestly.
There's a place I'm looking for too, and we're getting nearer.
Yeah.
It's here?
You mentioned that. You said it like
a crematorium?
Or a kiln in the mountains?
For bodies?
Yes.
What kind of bodies?
You think it's here?
I do. I think it's close.
Who owns it? What is it made of? How do you know about it?
Well, that's complicated. But There is more than one way to honor the body of a hero. And while there is a small clearing in the middle of a forest where you can put someone beneath the ground and something unusual springs forth, there's a place where you can burn the remains to an ash and something unusual springs forth.
Something unusual like a new body or a plant?
Just something unusual. I've never been, but there are 3 sacred sites of my particular group of people, and the cemetery is just one of them. The garden and the kiln is the next. And I'm hoping maybe if we find the kiln, I can start to piece together what's happening to my home.
Are you planning on burying a body there or crematoriing a body there?
Well, I suppose whichever one of you I like least.
Huh.
Yeah, it's a little joke.
Could do some humor.
I'm working on it. Yeah. I think that they may have answers.
But this place, forgive me, I don't know much about it, but from what we've heard, this place is all about eternal life and preserving souls forever, not burning them and ending.
Not everyone gets eternal life here.
And not everyone, but she was talking about imagining a world where you could control your own destiny because everyone was sort of immortal, wasn't she?
Yeah. I have a question about that, though. Like, what if somebody doesn't want to be? Do they get
Consecuted?
stuck? Yeah, do they have to be consecuted?
Well, also, point of
What if
order.
you get consecuted and you realize, like, shit, I really wanted to, pass on. I wanted to see what was on the other side.
Well, didn't anybody else think it was weird that Shadowhand is still in his first life and has a lot of, I don't know, seems like a lot of clout around here?
I get the sense that it's not something that everybody gets, that it's a delicacy.
That maybe some are told they get and maybe don't actually, and maybe it's a way of preserving.
Maybe it's something you earned.
A little too early to tell.
He mentioned he was a prodigy with the Dunamancy magic, so
right.
I think that's what made him excel in ranks.
Okay.
We don't know a lot.
Yeah, we don't. It's a lot being thrown at us.
No, I think we're going to stay here for a little bit and get to know the culture.
I feel like I'm going to find clues as to where to go next to find the things I need to find.
And we all eventually want to be able to go home, right?
Where's Luke? You said Allfield?
He's with Edith in Allfield, and we have to figure out what to do with him, too.
We may have to figure out, perhaps, if there's a way to get you possibly back to the other side.
Agreed.
Okay.
You can go to Nicodranas.
Yeah.
That's near the coast. We've been there. It's really nice.
Yeah,
There's
closer
a beach.
than we are now.
I haven't seen a beach before.
It's really pretty.
Yeah, except for the water.
My mom lives there. She would take pretty good care of you guys, I think.
Outside the Empire.
Outside of the Empire.
Whenever we start to make that journey, I guess. Sooner than later, I hope I'm worried about him.
Of course.
Maybe we can find somebody and arrange you an escort.
Perhaps there'll be more once they discover what we've done.
And that we're staying.
That they'll be more reasonable if they know that we've kept him away from the war entirely and just kept out of the situation.
Don't you worry, we will get you to Allfield.
It might be an expensive journey, though.
Some money.
Well, Caleb can just get some paper and then he'll figure out how to just pull somebody there.
He's close.
Yeah.
We got there.
Right, you're just close.
But for now, we just need to know what we're doing in the morning.
Yeah, so I was going to say, blacksmith, grocery shopping, maybe talk about seeing if there's a way to get him out of here, and then you guys were going to go check out the library of stuff.
What about Mako?
Yeah, that's in the library of stuff.
Okay.
Maybe we can all go together to the library stuff.
Yeah.
We'll just try and stick together for a while.
I think
Things
it
seem
might
to go
be
wrong
smart.
when we split up.
We also tend to draw a lot of attention, though, when we stick
Probably
together.
want to move
I
around the
wonder if
group.
with Yaza we should make him look like a goblin or something.
How do we do that?
I think he's fine the way he is.
Yeah, plus we got these.
But he doesn't have one.
Yeah, but we got him.
Also, by the way, I think we should be careful about who we flaunt those to. Might make us prime targets for some undesirables.
You also just mimed it because you're not wearing it because it's currently in a bag. Yeah.
I mean, technically everything we do is mime, Taliesin.
That's
no,
fair.
but
That's a very
they're
fair point.
mimed it because they're all in the back.
I'm not worried about it. Somebody comes up, I'll be like, Hero of the Dynasty. Hero of the Dynasty.
No, yeah, it's convincing. You're right.
Told you.
I think the less lies that we have to walk around with, the easier it'll be to
I'm not saying lie.
Hero of the Dynasty.
H.O.D.
We just know that there are spies from the Empire here, like my boss.
Shut the fuck up. Why do you always shout this shit out?
It's always me that gets admonished.
You're
and he's
loud.
He's screaming, we're heroes of the Empire
You're the
earlier.
ones shouting it back.
Aren't we not?
I'm
heroes
sorry,
of the
my
Empire?
voice
Either that
raises
seems, that's wrong,
sometimes.
right?
What?
We're not heroes of the Empire.
No, we're
that's,
not.
No,
Dynasty.
Can your boss look like other appearances,
Yeah,
or just
she-
the one?
Maybe.
I'm assuming she can mix it up.
Well, I mean, if we come across, well, maybe they'll reach out.
She's not the only one. It's ignorant to think that there are not people here looking to kill people exactly like us.
I think it's probably a town full of good people and bad people.
I'm excited for
There are
tomorrow.
good people and bad people everywhere.
Exactly.
You guys wrap this up. My man is a little bit jittery. I'm going to take him to bed.
Boy, we don't need to hear your
too
sex
much
code, okay? We will leave you to it.
He was in
If you
prison
need
this
extra
morning.
towels or anything, just let us know.
I'll need
We
towels.
will unburden you.
Do you need a bath, Yeza?
I could definitely use a bath.
We'll arrange it.
Let's turn in for the night.
I know that.
All right. As you all prepare yourselves for an evening's rest, you having flashes of the imagery that you received in your brief time, no longer within your mortal coil, and the unresolved tension between the accidental death that found its way to you. When Nott killed him.
I almost died.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah,
God.
remember when I killed him?
I thought we were on fucking lore alert. I was like, why is nobody registering us?
I ain't dropping lore on you yet, man. It's been a long game.
Yeah. Anything you guys wish to do before you turn in?
I will use whatever means necessary to completely black out the room.
Okay.
And I'll tuck him into his bed and I'll lie down on the floor next to him.
Oh.
Okay, he passes straight out. He
Yeah,
is
of course.
exhausted. And you go ahead and you pass out on the floor. Partway through the night, you hear some footfalls, and a hand grabs your arm. And a voice, familiar voice, goes, "Shh, it's okay. It's just me. Why are you on the floor?"
Weirdly feels better, but I also wanted to just give you your space.
It's okay. And you, since you do have dark vision as the goblin, he goes and pulls the blankets and pillows and throws them on the floor. Says, "I'll join you."
I'll give him all the pillows and blankets.
And he passes back out again, but curl up next to you.
I'll just stroke his little hair and watch him sleep.
As the rest of you find yourselves,
I grabbed Ford.
okay, there.
Before you leave the
Okay. So I'm checking. I'm like, what are you gonna do before we close here?
Just gonna pull him aside for a second. You okay?
Huh?
Are you okay? You all right?
Yeah, I'm dandy. Why do you ask?
Yeah. Just checking. Still your first mate, Captain.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
Sorry I was a little cagey past, a few hours.
Campaign.
Yeah, I was about to say. I'm not really sure what exact incident you are apologizing for, but
good.
it's all just kind of both.
Okay.
How are you doing?
Good, I'm still processing. Don't know what we just signed up for, but, kind of excited to see where it leads, I guess.
Yeah, I'm interested to explore open waters to be sure. I am concerned, cautiously optimistic, but concerned. We are definitely being watched.
Yeah.
And we are going to be fed every manner of story and lie and propaganda that these people know and have. And we are somehow supposed to divine the truth from BS.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we have some of the best detectives on our side.
It's true. I do.
Anyway, you got me if you need me. I'm gonna go pass out.
Fair enough.
When Ford re-enters the room, Caleb is putting a silver wire around the room.
Naked.
And then later, as they're drifting...
Inside the room?
Yeah, inside the door. And later, as they're drifting off, he just hears, Ford. I appreciate you.
You what?
Sometimes you have to get a little bit crazy.
What do you mean, right now?
No, you said that to me once.
Oh.
It was a callback.
Right, sorry. Yeah, I just was almost asleep.
Anyway, glad we're not dead. This went worse than I imagined it. Good night.
Hey, I didn't say it. It took a brass pair to do what you did, so, thanks for not, getting us killed, I guess.
Well, when I see my friends on the verge of possible death, I'm not going to stand by and do nothing.
Yeah. I'm gonna go to sleep now.
I stay awake in bed for another 30 minutes and just scrunch Frumpkin's neck and then pass out.
Okay. Anyone else?
What do you think they're doing right now?
Yeza and Beth.
Yeah.
Beth,
Yeah,
right?
Beth, that's her name.
I don't know. Yeza looked pretty fucked up, man.
Yeah, he ate a lot too.
Yeah, he did. I bet he barfed.
Probably.
Yeah.
They probably started to bone and then he threw up. Oh no.
I bet that's right.
That's probably what
Yeah,
happened.
that sounds very probable.
Yeah, we'll ask in the morning.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. But not in like a way that's like, did you throw up because she's a goblin? Because that's not cool.
Oh no.
Yeah, no, just because he ate too much.
I was proud of him.
Me too. He seemed like he really, really loved her.
He's a good guy. I would have beaten his ass if he was like a piece of shit
Me too.
about it.
You know, it's funny because like, we read all these books and stuff, and that's not at all the way love is described in the books that we read.
You mean the porn books that we read? Those?
Well, are they like porn though, or are they just like the way relationships are for real though?
Oh boy.
Well.
It's okay, we don't have to talk about this tonight, so I know everything already. It doesn't matter, and I turn over and go.
Just learned about romance from porn. Oh no!
Uh-oh, someone ordered a pizza.
I mean,
Now they're in
pool. I don't have a pool.
Arcane delivery.
In the night,
Yeah.
you hear Yasha's voice kind of in the dark. Just go, are you okay?
Well, yeah, I'm certainly real now, isn't it?
Yeah.
I will admit I'm a little nervous. Miss Yasha, I feel... I thought I understood a sense of purpose, and I thought I knew what I was heading for, and now I'm so sure. I'm worried that might be a little dangerous, but I can... That moment when I was under, I'm so grateful for it. You think that's a little dangerous?
Sometimes tragedy gives perspective.
I believe in destiny. I believe that we are called upon to do great works sometimes, or small works sometimes. And there's something special with these people, and with you, with us. And I'm going to try to remind them that it's important to honor that and not just... I think there's a great version of all these people and of you.
I hope so.
Hopefully I won't get everybody else killed, too.
Hopefully we won't get you killed either. Not again.
I think I need to talk to the Wild Mother again soon.
I think I have to talk to my own interested party as well.
I would very much like to know what they say.
Me too. Anyway, good night.
Thank you for taking care of these people with me.
Just paying forward how one of them once took care of me.
We all.
In his honor. Good night.
No. You hear the shuffling of a pillow being pushed over Yasha's ears. With that, you all rest for the night after a chaotic arrival in Rosanna, the core of the Kreen dynasty. You also hit level 9. So we'll go ahead and roll hit points real fast here.
Boy, dear God. Oh! It fell on the floor. It's so important for me, guys.
So you roll your hit die, right?
Points. It's a 6 on the floor. Can I take it?
No.
God damn it. It's a 6 on the board.
I got a 5. There you go.
5-2, not too bad.
D8.
2.
Yes. Fuck.
You rolled a 7.
You're so angry when you roll well.
Oh, I rolled a 1.
You roll ones.
Oh, yeah.
Remember?
That's a plus what?
A 5.
And we add...
Then I believe your modifier already gets added, so just put the number you rolled.
Okay.
You change your rolled HP, you add it to your rolled HP.
You add it to your rolled HP.
Correct.
Guys, I'm all 57 hit points.
Immortal! Yeah! Immortal! And I think for some of you guys, that's... I think it's 5th level spells, right?
Yeah.
What?
Oh, man.
Boom.
That's like Bigby's hand shit.
Man.
I can do some crazy stuff now.
Yeah, there's some stuff.
I've got mass healing word now. That's
Yeah.
that's
Oh, that's gonna be fun.
I did too.
whole
but-
party goes down, whole party comes back up, as long as you guys don't wander 60 feet in front of everybody.
Are you about to sunset us for the night?
I am.
Can I do one thing in the morning?
Sure.
It's just a talk, just a conversation.
Okay. And then we'll kick it off there.
Okay.
Next week. So does everyone finish their
Yeah.
input? You good? You good?
Yeah, I'm good.
You good? Mm-hmm. You good?
I'm good, I think.
Good? Good? All right. And we'll get to Ashley's soon enough. So, consciousness comes to you. You recognize the morning, and you feel it in your bones. But it's just strange to look out the small glass window and see it's still night. But you feel it's morning, and it's restful. What would you like to do?
I quietly leave the room, and I go to Jester and Beauregard's room, and I gently knock on the door.
Who is it?
It is Caleb. I'm sorry, both of you. Beauregard, I need to ask your advice on something. Could I borrow you for a moment? Is she awake?
Yeah.
She's sleeping. Still.
I'm sleeping. I'm coming out. I go out.
Please be dressed.
She's naked.
No.
I go out.
Are you naked?
No.
Okay, come with me, please.
You don't get that privilege.
I lead downstairs and find it's like crack of dawn kind of thing here, even though there's no sun, yeah?
It would be like, because you guys went to sleep not too late in the evening, it'd be close to like 6 or 7 in the morning.
Is the area deserted at this point?
It's not deserted, but there's two drow that are currently there. One of them looks like they maybe have passed out at the table. The other is just currently sitting and finishing an early breakfast.
I lead Beauregard to the opposite as far as I can get from these two.
Okay, easy enough to do.
Sit with me.
No, why did you get me up so early?
Are you awake?
Yes, what?
Keep your voice down.
What? You alright?
Yes. But I would be better. I need you to trust me. I need you to be my friend. I can't believe that I am saying those words, but I need you to be my friend. Yeah, I've probably said some crazy things to you. I have railed against the elements, but I have also said that I wanted to murder a man. And that falls in line with things that Dyron and you want. I just put everything on the line, my own survival, all of our survival on the line. Because I wanted to see you live, and all of our friends live. A week ago, killing that man seemed impossible to me. And now it does not.
You don't have to convince me of anything, Caleb. I've been your friend this whole time.
Well, last night it seemed like I did.
It's whether you believe it that's always been a question mark to me. Do you believe I'm your friend? That's always been the problem, man. I care for you a lot, and I've told you that on more than one occasion. And I'm not sure what it's met with. So do you trust me? Do you trust the rest of us? Or are we just cogs in your overall grand plan? Because that would hurt. That would hurt real bad, man. If that was the case.
I think that I have spent so long like this that it is hard maybe for you to tell that I care for you. And I am sorry for anything that I have done in the past that has earned your distrust.
Hey, look at me. I'll trust you. You do me a favor. Start trusting yourself. Just a little bit.
Getting there. Anyway, I respect you greatly. Thank you for your time.
You don't have to thank me for my time like you're a social worker, and I just give him a hug. Look, you're next to me. We can do it in real life.
Danke.
Yeah, you too.
We can do some good. All of us. We can do some good.
I think that's the best retribution for Caleb Widowgast. Two pieces of shit like us doing some good.
Holla.
No, don't.
And on that note.
The worst. Just the literal worst.
The best. On that
What's
note,
that, Shark Man? Hey!
I thought we'd finally killed him off. All right. We'll pick this up next week. Oh, man, this is good. Yeah, I'm excited. Once again, holy shit.
Holy shit. Thank you, critters.
Oh my
Just
God.
like last campaign. We get to make 10 episodes. That's the same.
10 episodes,
It's amazing.
guys.
We get to make 10
motherfucking episodes.
Eight episodes through the Briarwood arc.
Ashley Johnson one shot.
Yeah.
What will it be? What will it be?
Oh, man. No, this is crazy.
Blind spot game.
I was going to say, a mysterious woman covered
She'll
in
be on
tattoos.
Skype.
No.
Skype, yeah.
Don't we get her back
pretty soon?
We think so.
We think so. Fingers crossed.
Let's not make any promises we can't keep.
I know.
Exactly.
We're getting Ashley back soon, and I'm super excited. But anyway, have a wonderful night. Thank you so much. We love you very much. And is it Thursday yet?
Woo!